Happy MLK Day, everybody, and welcome to our live post-game show following the Golden State Warriors victorious over the Miami Heat. The final score 135-112, but this is not going to feel like a celebratory show as I feel like all of Dub Nation, anyone with a vested interest in the Warriors and or Jimmy Butler await the news about a knee injury that did not look good. Jimmy Butler went down. His knee buckled as he landed from, I believe, a pass coming into him. And when a player has to get helped off like that, and the way it looked with his knee buckling, it just it's a bummer. And we can hope for the best, but again, it wasn't a good look. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about a Warriors team that stepped up when he went down. They had a 12-0 run right off the bat. This is how teams typically react in the short term to one of your star players leaving, whether it's injury, ejection, or so forth. But there is no long-term benefit to this. This is bad news, regardless. But at least for tonight, we're talking about a Warriors team that did win again, fourth straight game. They hit 20 or more three-pointers, and we're going to talk about that. Talk about all this stuff. We'll bring the audience on the show. The YouTube account that I've been relying on for our post-game press conferences is now officially on our poo-poo list. Basket Man, you piece of shit. This guy or girl, whoever they are, they flagged the show. And I'm fighting it because you cannot claim a press conference video as your own. You can't own the copyright over that. So while I await the decision, no more Basket Man. If you want to flood his YouTube account and troll his dumbass for even after all the hype, that guy got like 1,000 more subs just from me mentioning that piece of shit on the show every night. Giving him credit for playing his press conference sound bites. Not no mo. This is the last time I'm going to mention that dumbass's name. And again, if you want to troll his account, Basket Man, go harass that son of a bitch, because he's one of the punks who flags other people using their content, even though in this case, A, the content is not copyrighted, cannot be, and B, I was giving that guy a ton of plugs. It's not like I was just stealing his work and not giving him credit, but no more of that. Anyways, F you, Basket Man. I should have a sound effect for that. Hey, Basket Man.
Fuck you.
Yeah, you piece of shit. Let's talk about it. Yeah, Jimmy Butler going down like this just doesn't put me in a good mood. I'm in a shitty mood. I don't know what to say. This was we can hope for the best. Best case scenario for Jimmy Butler, hyperextended knee, maybe a knee bruise, maybe a knee sprain. But I'm not feeling good about that. Anyway, so let's talk about the Warriors. Let's talk about Jimmy. I'm going to let you folks decide who the player of the game is. We'll talk about that in just a moment, although I think it's pretty obvious. Is it Pods? Is Pods our player of the game tonight? Might be. We'll leave it up to a vote. Let's talk about the Warriors beating Miami, winning for what, the 12th time in 16 games. I believe the Warriors have a winning streak. Does it matter? Maybe, maybe not. Let's break it all down next. We are powered by FanDuel, and this show, it's called the Golden Days.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. Welcome to the program. What the F is fashion? Being optimistic, saying it's just a strain. Relax. Even though you have no idea what really happened. I respect the optimism, though. Patrick Stubbs in our chat saying Moses Moody played a very solid game, which reminds me, I dug up an interesting stat about Moses Moody, because Moses Moody has not had this wasn't just a good game, is what I'm trying to say. He's had a stretch of good games where the threes are falling. But then I started thinking to myself, does the comfort of home correlate directly with the good shooting? Because, and oftentimes when you see splits of a player who shoots really well at home and then really bad on the road, that's usually how you define a role player, and maybe that's what Moses Moody is. It's just a role player, but a damn good role player at that. I bring it up because when you look at his splits career-wise, not career-wise, season-wise, at home this year, here, I'll even show you a visual because I think I put this on social media tonight. So visuals always help for this stuff. But I do think this is a pertinent stat and an interesting one. And that's Moses Moody's home road splits. Let me share this with you here real fast. Visually, and obviously for the podcast audience, who I'm always thinking of, I will articulate this so you can follow along. When Moses Moody is at home this year, and the Golden State Warriors as a team, they're now 25-19 after tonight's 135-112 victory again over a Miami Heat team that in the second half just folded, just collapsed, did not show up. The Warriors, with that 25-19 record, I'm trying to look up how many home and road games they played this year. The Warriors still the 8th seed, still 2 games behind the Phoenix Suns in the loss column. They now have a 4-game winning streak. Did I say 5? I apologize. I thought it was 5. It's 4. It's a 4-game winning streak. They've won 7 of their last 10. The Warriors this season, 17-6 at home, 8-13 on the road. The Warriors have played 23 home games this year and 21 road games this year. So adding, so it's almost an even split. They play 2 more games at home. When the Warriors are at home, Moses Moody shoots 46.2% from the field and a damn impressive 42.5% from deep. Let me repeat that. When Moses Moody is playing at home, 46.2% field goal percentage, the 3-point percentage, 42.5. That is damn impressive. And if Moody can progress his game to shoot like that on the road, he will not be a role player. He will be an everyday, what kind of label? I mean, you're not going to say he's an all-star, but he's a stud. You can call him a stud. When Moses Moody is on the road, however, is where the numbers take a massive dip. Approximately nearly 9% dip from the field, over 7% dip from beyond the arc. Moses Moody on the road shoots 37.4% from the field, 35.2% from deep. One more time. When Moses Moody is on the road, 37.4% is his field goal percentage, 35.2% is his 3-point percentage. So the home road splits reveal something. Interestingly enough, I the only other home road splits I looked up were Quentin Post, because Quentin Post also had what I thought was a fantastic game tonight. And in just a moment, I'm going to put it to a vote in terms of who should be our FanDuel player of the game. It seems like Pods should win it. I think it would be the first time all year, even though he did not hit the 5 assist number that I keep looking for. He got to 4. It's close enough. But Quentin Post was 4 of 5 from deep. But his home road splits, the opposite. He shoots awful typically at home. All of those numbers are going to change after tonight's game, where he was 4 or 5 from deep. And then he shoots better from deep at home, but not the case with Moses Moody, who the difference in field goal percentage between home and road, 46.2% versus 37.4%. The difference between home and road from the 3-point line, 42.5% to 35.2%. So it does make a difference, at least for Moses Moody, whether he's playing at home or on the road. And for our FanDuel player of the game, and I'd love to get your thoughts on this, audience, for who should be the player of the game. I have not looked at the chat yet to see what the vote is, if you've already started voting, but I'll read you the stat lines. Brandon Pajemski tonight played 29 minutes, 35 seconds, 9 of 19 from the field, 3 of 7 from deep. Perfect 3 of 3 from the free throw line, grabbed 6 boards, dished out 4 assists, added a steal, 2 turnovers, a plus 17 in net rating, 24 points, a team high for Pods, which might be the first. I would guess that's the first time all year he's led the team in scoring. Now, the other folks in contention, Wardell, who did not have to play the fourth quarter of this game. He was in foul trouble tonight, but the Warriors had this so under control that he was able to rest. And when you consider that the Warriors are back on the floor tomorrow to finish up this 8-game homestand with the second of a back-to-back hosting the Toronto Raptors, that DNP in the fourth quarter was awesome. Steph, did he play in the fourth? Oh, he did. Even though I don't remember that. Did they bring him in for just a few minutes? Well, he did get 2 minutes and 56 seconds in the fourth quarter, but his overall stat line in this game, why did he play in the fourth? What was going on there? Why did Steph play? He didn't need to. Anyways, and that's important, by the way, because the minutes matter. Sound like a broken record saying that? I don't care. It's that important. Overusage can lead to injuries. Hint, hint. That's why I look at that shit so much for the veterans, especially. Armando Lara has called this season injury ball for a good reason. And we just potentially saw a devastating one. But Steph, in 27 minutes and 48 seconds, 6 of 13 from the field, 5 of 10 from deep. That's 50% shooting from beyond the arc. Steph also had 11 assists in this game to go along with his 3 rebounds. Did have 3 turnovers. So 19 points, 11 assists, 3 boards for Steph, a double-double. And is there anyone else in contention? I didn't mention Buddy Hield had an unbelievable shooting night. We'll talk about him in a little bit. I don't know if he's I guess it's just going to be Pods, right? Is there any contention? Is anybody objecting to Pajemski getting player of the game? Going through the chat right now. Patrick Stubbs says, I'd rather give it to Buddy. Well, Buddy Hield, let me give you his stat line. Buddy getting minutes tonight, partly because Draymond Green was out with what was listed as, I believe, a right ankle sprain. I don't remember when he did that. Could have been a nice excuse they came up with for him to rest tonight and then play tomorrow to avoid a back-to-back. So with Draymond out, Guy Santos, that left ankle injury, more serious than anyone imagined because he missed another game because of that. Sometimes these ankle injuries can be serious. And so there was opportunity for players to step in, and that includes Buddy Hield. And Buddy's, again, solid night tonight. If Buddy had been shooting like this since the beginning of the season, he would not be a player who is routinely called out as someone who is potentially stealing minutes from others. And Buddy tonight, again, 23 minutes, 2 seconds, 6 of 9 from the field, 4 of 7 from deep. He added 4 boards, 1 assist and a steal, 16 points for Buddy. The Warriors as a whole for another game, just shooting lights out. I mentioned that the Warriors' 4th straight game of 20 or more made threes as a team. And Buddy, 4 of 7. Pajemski, 3 of 7. Trace Jackson Davis hitting a very late 3, the first of his career. I think it was with like the shot clock winding down. Al Horford, 2 of 7 from deep. Pat Spencer, 0 of 2 from deep. LJ Cryer and Malavi Leons making their debut for the Golden State Warriors with time expiring. Playing some garbage time minutes. LJ Cryer making a 3 late in this game. He was 1 of 2. And the starters against Steph, 5 of 10. Moody, 3 of 6 from deep. Jimmy Butler was 0 of 1 before the injury. Will Richard was 1 of 3. And Quentin Post was 4 of 5 from deep. The Warriors as a team collectively shooting 24 of 51 from beyond the arc. An outstanding night of shooting, the second game in a row that the Warriors have just been insanely efficient shooting the ball from deep. That's 47.1% of the Warriors' threes being made. This is, I imagine, what Steve Kerr envisioned his team being in terms of a team identity. This is what he has been looking for the entire season. And it's easy to achieve it when you're playing home games against the East. When you have an 8-game homestand, when you're playing, like 11 of 12 at home, and the opposition is almost entirely just these awful teams from this anemic Eastern Conference, yeah, your vision's going to come to fruition. Congrats, coach. We'll see if the vision keeps up when the team goes back on the road and when the competition starts to stiffen up. But for tonight, the shot was falling. And Brandon Pajemski, hold on, let me see if anyone else has. Yeah, I can do that for a while. Reminds me of the Giggity Giggity guy. What's the Giggity Giggity guy from a Family Guy? What's his name? Wasn't there one episode where Captain Sully, Captain Sully, forgive me, I'm butchering his name, was on the episode, and Quagmire was like, I can do the for like almost 40 seconds. It was like a captain's MO, a captain, a pilot's MO. Anyways, Quagmire, yeah. So let me see real quick. Any votes for anyone other than Brandon Pajemski? Jen Lynn in her chat saying that he scored those 24 points on 19 shots. Yeah, Pajemski easily led the team in field goal attempts tonight, 19 of them. That is correct. And when you win, it looks okay. If this was a losing affair, that would be glaring. So let's give it a pods. It doesn't happen often. This might be the one and only time. Well, actually, I don't know. If Jimmy Butler's out for the year, you might actually get a few more games with Pajemski getting player of the game because of the opportunities. But Brandon Pajemski, our FanDuel player of the game, 24 points, a team high to go with on 3 of 7 shooting from deep, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, even had a steal. So congrats to Pods, our FanDuel player of the game. Bravo. And courtesy of FanDuel, speaking of which, they should have a line for the Warriors game tomorrow, the second of a back-to-back when they host the Raptors. And the Warriors right now, despite the Jimmy Butler news, they are expected to get D'Anthony Melton back for tomorrow's game. He was held out tonight. They're expected to get Draymond Green back. He was out tonight. And they're favored over the Toronto Raptors. The spread, courtesy of FanDuel, -3.5. The Raptors money line +134. The OU on that one, 226.5. Again, courtesy of FanDuel. And then soon after that, the Warriors hit the road again for, I believe, a 4-game road trip. Here, I can let you know specifically what that's about now, where the team's going to start off with the road game at Dallas. That should be an easy win. And then it gets interesting after that. They're going to play back-to-back, not back-to-back in terms of days, but back-to-back in terms of the same opponent, same location, 2 straight games at Minnesota. And then they finish up the 4-game road trip at Utah. And then the competition gets damn stiff after that. And we're going to really find out where this team stands with or without Jimmy there. But for tonight, victorious, even though the result was very unfortunate, largely because of Jimmy Butler. That injury is again, it didn't look good. And if anyone in the chat sees anything that I missed during our live post-game show in terms of an update, I don't know if MRI results come through that fast. Usually we get these results in the morning. I did see a tweet from Dr. Pendia. Is that his name? Or is Pendia his first name? I think it's Dr. Pendia, who has kind of become like the name and face of sports medicine here in the San Francisco Bay Area, former guest of the program. And he laid it out that the testing will happen sooner than later because they don't want the knee to swell up, and then the imaging becomes less accurate because of all the extra tissue and blood that starts forming there because of the swelling. So what he spelled out on social media tonight is that Jimmy Butler's knee will be x-rayed tonight. He's going to likely get the MRI tonight as well. And again, if anybody sees anything on the socials that I miss as I'm hosting this live show, please put it in the chat. And why don't we hear real fast from Stephen Curry, who went to the podium quick, And because he talked about the knee injury by Jimmy Butler. This is courtesy of Joseph Dikis of the Bay Area News Group, which is a fancy word for the Mercury News. That's the biggest publication of that group. I think the Oakland Tribune, the East Bay Times, that's also included in the Bay Area News Group. And so Joseph Dikis, he's the Warriors beat reporter, and he talked about Jimmy Butler's injury. And why don't we play that sound right now since it's already come down? I am not going to the basket man money checkup because that piece of shit flagged my usage of his clips for copyright, which, side note, him doing that is against the law because these press conferences are considered fair use. I'm also a credentialed media member. I'm allowed to use press conference footage. He can't just claim that shit as his own. Not to mention, I've been plugging and promoting the ever-living crap out of this clown. But he has a partnership with the NBA, and he flagged my content. And so no more basket man. But again, we thankfully have local media that we can go to for shortened clips. And who knows, folks, I'm open to suggestions. If there's another resource out there where I can play for the show these full press conference sound bites, because I know a lot of you like those, but that cocksucker, sorry for the crass language, I'm just so peeved that a piece of shit like this basket man guy would flag me when all I'm doing is promoting and helping his channel, and he decides, no, I don't want you to use my stuff. Nah, so F you. Here's, again, instead of me saying it, Charlie Day, here's your message to basket man, you piece of shit.
Fuck you.
Yeah, and more polite.
Oh, hey, fuck you.
Yeah, sure, at all. Get to work, man. If you want to troll this son of a bitch, troll him. He's officially persona non grata of this program, a legitimate enemy. When you're flagging me, I literally we did not get paid for the last show, and so yeah, he's hitting me where it hurts by doing that. I could have ignored it and had those clips all deleted, but in this instance, I'm putting my foot down because of principle. His content is considered part of fair use based on how I was using it. Not to mention, he can't copyright press conference footage. Though that setting is literally for the media, but this cocksucker flagged me nonetheless. But Joseph Dikis posted this clip on his Twitter account and of Stephen Curry talking about the Jimmy Butler injury. So let's hear from him. Turn the volume up on your devices, folks. That's one of the biggest downsides to relying on the local press and the sound they publish right away is that it's often coming from their cell phones. So the audio sucks. But we got to take what we can get. Here is Stephen Curry again. Turn the volume up. I guarantee this is going to be low. Talking about the Jimmy Butler interview. The smoothie is becoming like a regular thing for all these guys. That looks exactly like Klay Thompson's smoothie from when the Mavericks were in town a few weeks back. Here's Steph with the smoothie on the table talking about the unfortunate injury to Jimmy Butler.
I haven't talked to him since the game, but we never like to see a situation like that, especially somebody as tough as he is, and praying for the best, obviously, with scans and all that, and we'll figure it out, but hopefully he's all right.
Steph, obviously, the games keep coming, no matter how long he's out. If he misses a period of time, what is going to change the most for you guys?
I don't know. I won't talk about him being out until we know what's going on. But the way we played down the stretch of the game tonight, BP being aggressive scorer, Buddy coming in, staying ready, knocking down shots, Moses, and then Al off the bench. Like, we're gonna have to go by committee if anybody goes down. But we'll figure out what the plan ahead is depending on what's going on.
And there's one more clip that I want to play for you folks. And this was Steph said this more in jest, a little lighthearted. And Steph also talks about, what happens to his role if he's out for. I mean, look, regardless of how serious the injury is, Jimmy's going to be out for a while. And this is going to beg the question of, do you play Kuminga now? And if you don't play him at this point, I think it's safe to say it's 100% certain he's going to get traded instead of the 95% feeling that we have now. But Steph was asked, what's next? Like what is the team going to do? Because serious or not, an injury like that, you don't just bounce back from it. I've never seen that in my life. And Tracy McKendall in the chat's asking, do we know the diagnosis? Not yet. We're probably not going to know until the morning because of MRI results being a time consuming process. But here is Steph again, courtesy of Joseph Dicus, talking about what the Warriors are going to do, like who's going to step in. So let's listen to Steph talk about the impact that Jimmy's injury may have on the team.
Floor, obviously in a lot of pain and struggling to get off the floor with help from teammates.
I haven't talked to him since the game, but you never like to see a situation like that, especially somebody as tough as he is, and praying for the best, obviously, with scans and all that, and we'll figure it out, but hopefully he's all right.
Steph, obviously, the games keep coming, no matter how long he's out. If this is a period of time, what is going to change the most for you guys?
I don't know. I won't talk about him being out until we know what's going on. But the way we played down the stretch of the game tonight, BP being aggressive, scoring, Buddy coming in, staying ready, knocking down shots, Moses, and then Al off the bench. Like, we're gonna have to do it by committee if anybody goes down. But we'll figure out what the plan ahead is, what's going on.
How would you describe the season?
Hey, Basket Man.
Fuck you.
Sorry. I'm peeved about that. So Steph's saying this is going to be a by committee situation. And we shall see. I would get, I don't don't even know what I guess. I don't know. I feel like the obvious answer, I need a haircut, is Kuminga, but we don't know what the status is there. Well, and this is Funk Farm in the chat saying that Kuminga's value to the team skyrockets. I don't know what's going to happen here. Yeah, Tracy McKendall in the chat saying Lacob better do something. Tracy, by the way, mad kudos and props to you, because you made me aware of this little snippet from a story that was written over a week ago by The Athletic. It had 3 bylines on it. Marcus Thompson, Nick Friedel, and I believe Sam Amick. And the story got a lot of attention largely because of an anonymous player in this story giving credit to Jonathan Kuminga for intentionally sitting out that Thunder game a few weeks back. And the story also mentioned that same night they reported Joe Lacob seemed peeved, right? He seemed irritated. There was no link to his irritation coinciding with Kuminga not wanting to play. We don't even know if he actually was irritated because of anything. The verbiage was very loose on that part in the story. But he did say somebody in that same piece wrote that Joe Lacob is, quote, down on Kuminga. But we don't, there is no specificity there. Is he actually down on Kuminga? Is he down on the situation? There just is not enough there for me to really extrapolate context, because context was missing other than saying that Lacob is down on him. We also know how a sycophant this media culture is when it comes to making sure the messaging is so pro Steve Kerr, which is so sad and pathetic, man. It never stops. That this local media scene just pretending that the only way to behave when it comes to Steve Kerr is to kiss his ass and to paint him like he's some golden god. And like the Athletic released a story the other day of the 40 greatest leaders in sports, and Steve Kerr was number 1. And they based it on like 100 people surveyed, did not mention who these 100 people were. It was it's just, dude, some of the other names on this, like I think Stephen Curry was third. I almost like the vibe of this poll was survey 100 Warriors fans who who are season ticket holders, because I couldn't believe that shit. My point is, maybe he is down on Kuminga. I don't know. I feel like if he was legitimately down on Kuminga, he would be gone by now. Like, why are you keeping this guy if you, the owner, the only person advocating for him, are now down on him? Like, what the hell is the point of keeping him on your team? But who knows is all I'm trying to say, because I finally read that story, and Armando Laura, the professor who joins us every Friday, he sent that to me because the Athletic will never get a penny of my hard-earned money. And unfortunately, in a rare moment, I missed out on that little story as a result, but I also don't know what to make of it either. It's a hard one to interpret, but it does beg the question, with Jimmy being hurt, what now? Like, I don't know what the plan was, if any. I don't know if this changes the plan, any. Like, Juan Adolfo in the chat writes, JK for Wiggins straight up. If you do that, you have the exact same team again that you had last year that was 26-27 before they traded for Jimmy Butler. And we all know how that was going, right? Now, so I don't know. I don't know what goes on here. I really have no idea what's going to happen. Nick the Greek in the chat saying, if it's not an ACL injury, trade Jimmy for AD. Why? There's like zero chance in hell that's happening now. And for the simple reason that Anthony Davis's contract runs through 2028. Who knows when he's coming back? AD had to get like a third opinion to avoid surgery on the hand. And which that alone doesn't pass the sniff test, because all that tells me is that Anthony Davis is not listening to doctors because he doesn't want to have surgery on the hand. And he kept fishing for an opinion that he'd like. And that's who you want to bring in? Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. And then really Dubs, I think, sadly, and I say that emphatically, sadly, is probably most accurate in this, in that the Warriors just don't do anything, and then they bring in a new coach this offseason. I'm not endorsing that. I'm just saying, realistically, probably what's going to happen. Hamza Kassam, I'm with you. I'm sick to my stomach right now. If Kuminga's like done, if Kuminga's no longer a Warrior except by name only, I say Jimmy Butler was easily my second best player in this team after Steph. Easily. I have always loved Jimmy Butler. I have always respected his game, every part of it. Love the persona and the FU attitude. I loved all of it. Easily one of my favorite parts of this team. And this happens. And for the people in the chat, like there was never mind the chat. For the people, Armando Laura has been bringing this point up, and it cannot be ignored. The way Kerr treats these players, and especially the veterans, he's been predicting this from the start. This has been a setup for one of these players to get hurt. 36 years old, and you treat a guy who thrives at the 2 or 3 like a power forward. Wear and tear does matter. So for the folks who for example, are critical of the professor, period. And again, it's only one day a week. Armando, you're my boy. I love you. We're happy hour Fridays. As long as Armando wants to keep doing it, we're going to do it. And I think he was right here as well. You wanted to DNP Kuminga, great. Put all the pressure on Jimmy Butler as a big when he's not a big, great. And now here we are. Now, I'm sick to my stomach by this. This sucks. We'll definitely do a show tomorrow. Well, we're gonna have one regardless because it's another game. The Warriors play the Raptors, 3.5-point favorites. By tomorrow night, we're gonna have a very clear picture of where everything stands. I'm very curious to hear Steve Kerr provide his reaction because he's the shot caller when it comes to rotations. Here's another Stephen Curry soundbite. This is the one I thought I was going to play last time. Forgive me, because I knew there was one clip here where he was being a little more lighthearted and speaking in jest and about the Jimmy Butler situation. And here's Steph again. This is courtesy of Joseph Dikis of the Bay Area News Group, and Steph is behind the mic talking about how Jimmy Butler was cracking jokes right after the injury. I would say that's a good sign, but I also have no idea. I don't know if there's a blueprint for how people are supposed to behave and act following devastating knee injuries. The family man, I'm going to get to your pay chat right after this, but let's go back to Steph because he had this comment about how Jimmy was acting right after the injury, and let's hear what Steph had to say. Turn the volume up on your devices, please, because this is coming from a cell phone.
Yeah, I mean, it's something you hadn't seen before. Usually you expect him to get up and even if he just can't finish the game, just kind of get off the sideline. But just told him to take his time, figure out what he needed in that moment. And it's kind of funny. He was still cracking jokes over there while he was on the ground. In true Jimmy fashion. Always going to have a good time no matter what the situation is. I do love that perspective and that part of his personality. Even the worst of a moment, he was still, having a good time. He was trying to get to the free throw line. He said it was 2 shots.
I don't know what the player.
The smoothie. And then I want to know what's in that smoothie. Because whatever is in that smoothie, I want some. I want some magic elixir. I want some of the spice. Give me some of that spice. What do you folks think is in that smoothie? It looks like a strawberry banana smoothie with, I'm guessing, with some protein powder maybe in there. Jeff Riggenbach's asking in the chat, is Steph ever pissed off? There are moments like there are postseason moments I remember, but if you're asking, is he ever pissed off in a press conference setting? No, I don't have any immediate reaction or memories to that. Lax Paint in the chat saying that that smoothie is comprised of strawberries. Did I say strawberries? I thought it's strawberries and bananas, right? You're adding yogurt, honey, ginger, turmeric, probably. Again, some protein. Split Head is saying goat milk. Isn't goat milk kind of sour, though? It is good for you, though. Sharia Brown saying protein. Tara saying chef's the best. Of course. Of course. Ray the Bum saying it's Jordan's secret stuff. Like a special concoction. I always love that word, by the way. Side note, concoction. And saying that Jordan's secret concoction has been passed down. Oh, a couple people saying that. So is El Brox saying it's Michael Jordan's secret stuff. What do you know that I don't know? Can you elaborate on that? Are you just joking, or is there some truth to that? Because that's news to me. If there's some special secret elixir that has been passed down generationally from Michael Jordan to Steph. Link to in the chat is now open. I'm only going to post it once, which is, just take it for what it's worth. So if you miss out now, you could try again tomorrow. But if anyone wants to jump on now, the link's in there. Anything I missed statistically? Will Richard started the game again. I love that move. I love Will Richard. That massive wingspan allows him to cause havoc, blocking passing lanes, trying to block shots. He's always putting up like awesome intangible stats. Usually it comes in the form of rebounds. I'm accustomed to seeing Will Richard grabbing 5-6 boards in almost every outing. Tonight he only had 3, but he also had 7 assists, which again begs the question: why the hell can't Pajemski get more assists than Will Richard? Like again, I don't think I don't think I'm being out of line with that critique. Like Brandon Pajemski's supposed to be a point guard. Why are his assist numbers always so stinking low? And again, he had 4 tonight. I always ask for 5 though. Other players who again, Will Richard at 7, Jimmy Butler in his 20 minutes at 4, Steph at 11. Quentin Post, who played nearly 10 less minutes, only had 1 less assist with 3. Pat Spencer only played 13 minutes, 24 seconds. He had 3 assists. Why can't Pods get assists? Like, what is that about? Memo, welcome to the program. How are you doing?
What's up, Si? How you doing?
I'm all right, man. And this Jimmy Butler thing blows. Otherwise, doing okay. How about you?
Yeah, no, same. This win, Loki, just feels like a big L. Like just in the grand scheme of things, especially with the Jimmy injury. And like the main question for me is, about this game, like the Heat kind of stink, in my opinion. But whatever, we'll just move on.
Kind of. I think they flat out look. Any team, the Miami Heat after this game are 22-21. If you're a 500 team in the East, you stink. So
yeah, and
I don't know, but it's the East. It's an awful division. The fact that could you imagine if the Warriors were in the East? They would have like a LeBron James style run where they'd probably make like 10 straight NBA finals. Like you could lock them in as a finals team every year if they played in the East with that ridiculous schedule where you only have to play every West team twice. All the rest of your games are like 3 or 4 times against that opposition. It is such a joke of a conference. And it just same shit year after year. It's insane. So, but with that said, look, man, a win's a win. They're 6-1 now on this homestand. But I feel you. The Miami Heat they're trash.
Yeah, and the only reason I say kind of is because last game they beat the Thunder, right? And they look like they're kind of coherent, like a decent team, but they're inconsistent. You know what I mean? That's
like Charlotte. The Thunder, I feel like that they're. And I could be mistaken on this. This is just my opinion, but the Thunder remind me of a your typical NBA defending champion who just falls asleep on certain nights, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to wake up and be ready to go all out every single game when you know you're that good. The Warriors have been victims of that. I'll never forget Michael Jordan's Bulls, the year they won 72. I think they lost twice to the Vancouver Grizzlies. The Vancouver Grizzlies. That team was bad. And Jordan's Bulls, that 72-win team, I think, correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure that's accurate. 2 of their 10 losses that year to Vancouver. It just shit happens like that when you're a really elite team. But I feel you. Go ahead. I'll shut up, man. I'm sorry. What's on your mind, brother?
Yeah. Like with the whole Jimmy injury, the main question is, what they do at the trade deadline now, if it changes their plans. Because, if he's out for the season, then it's over. I'm sad to say it, but it's like the whole goal of winning a championship without him is dead. So whether you still go in and you're like, okay, we will try to go all in next season. And I'm kind of projecting because who knows, maybe Jimmy isn't injured that badly.
Let's hope.
Right? So it's hard to say right now.
It is.
That's what I'm hoping. Yeah. The only thing I have is like he was joking around a little bit. Steph said it. But that's just kind of who he is. But another take that I have is we need to trade Buddy Hield immediately because this is not sustainable. Let's trade him on the high. He's finally making shots. This is a perfect time to trade him, man. Because
his shot looked good tonight, didn't it? Like he didn't hesitate. Buddy looked like the guy that the Warriors paid $10 million a year for good reason. Like he actually looked like that guy. It's been a long ass time, man.
Yeah,
if ever.
Has.
Shit, if
it
ever.
Has.
I mean,
yeah. Like he actually looked like a legitimate shooter. You know what I mean? So
exactly. Like the guy who, for a 5-year stretch, made more threes than Steph from 20, or was second. Did he make? I can't remember. I already forgot that stat. I'm sorry. Was he first or second? But it was him and Steph in terms of from 2020 to 2024 or 2019, whatever. It was a 5-year stretch. And granted, that includes Steph missing that entire season with the broken wrist. But like Buddy, I think has more of a 3-pointers made during that span. And it's a huge reason why he got this payday is because he's notoriously a sniper. He still gets the gravity, that stat, that gravity stat that the NBA is collecting now and publishing. Buddy still has insane gravity. I think he's second on the team behind Steph, and he's a league leader in that department, even though they're not routinely falling. By the way, Memo, right? Is that your name, Memo?
Yeah.
Yes. Do you want to hear from Steve Kerr about what Kuminga's role could be with Jimmy out?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Let's do it. This is a short one, and this is courtesy of who published this? 95.7 The Game, the flagship radio station of the Warriors. This is likely Whitley Centretto uploading this. Turn up the audio on your devices, please, because this is going to be low. It's cell phone audio. But Steve Kerr was asked, if Jimmy's out, can Kuminga play?
Any time frame or what time Jimmy might miss, but could you go to Kuminga if there is a need for that position?
Absolutely.
Is he ready? I mean, with practice and all those things.
Yeah.
Dude, he hates Kuminga, doesn't he?
Yeah, no,
I mean, did that sound like a ringing endorsement? Like, yeah, we got JK's ready to go. It was just like a You're bringing that guy's name up to me again. God, you can play the mind reading game. Like, look at his facial expression. Let's go to this one more time. He looks like and I see Sharia in the chat. I'm bringing you on in a second, Sharia. Look at his facial expressions one more time. Does this look like a man who wants to play Kuminga?
Any time frame or what time Jimmy might miss, but could you go to Kuminga if there is a need for that position?
Absolutely.
Is he ready? I mean, with practice and all those things.
Yeah.
Like, the mind reader in me wants to jump in and picture what Steve Kerr's thinking, which is likely, shut the F up. Yeah, I know he's still on our team. I don't want to play that son of a bitch, but I'll say yes. I'll put on the fake. I'll give you the fake answers. Yeah, sure. Dude, like, there's no love there, man. Am I totally exaggerating with that, Memo?
No, I mean, I don't think he likes him either, and I don't think Kuminga likes Kerr either because he just doesn't play him, right? So
that part's
that's
clear.
the whole thing, man. It's been toxic for years. It's been 2 years too long. I think they should have traded him many years ago.
Oh yeah,
and it's just it's a tough situation, man. It really is. And for me, like, I think we got to trade Kuminga no matter what. I think it's best for him. Because we've seen him play well for certain stretches and then not play at all, get DMP'd. There's not much consistency with, like, the minutes that he gets. So I think it's time to just move on. And I don't think this Jimmy trade should change that because, like, he doesn't want to be here and Kerr clearly doesn't want him here. So it's like, what's the point of keeping him? It doesn't make any sense.
And if it's true that Joe Lacob is, again, who knows what that means, down on him. I mean, it's so lacking in specificity.
I don't think he is.
Let's say Joe is in fact, like, done with him. Why is he still on the team? What's going on? Just move on, man. Trade him a bag of chips. It doesn't matter. Like, you got to, but he's still on the team. Jimmy Butler was and Buddy Hield were the two players, by the way, that carried or shouldered the burden of Jimmy Butler's weight, taking him to the locker room. Because they're close, but I agree. Sharia, any final thoughts, Memo?
Yeah, one last thing. Like, the Warriors they don't want to lose a trade. You know what I mean? Like if they trade Kuminga for nothing, it's like, we lost the trade, we messed this up. But it's like, even that Jimmy trade, you think about it, right? They traded Jimmy when his value was at the lowest point it was, where you just had to trade Wiggins and like a 1 first-round pick, right? That's all they had to do, and they did it for that reason. So, like, I think they should take more risks, like, honestly, especially when Steph's playing at this level. Like, I'm sure the Jimmy trade is going to change their minds, which I don't think it should. But, like, I was an advocate for the MPJ trade, if you remember from last time. Like, I was all in on him, and I'm like, yo, let's trade. If it takes 2 first-round picks, let's do it. Let's give Steph a chance. Let's try to win another championship. I mean, yeah, I think we should do it. Like,
can it be okay? Regardless of whether or not you want it to happen, this is where I apologize for splashing cold water on a lot of folks. But if this Jimmy Butler thing is serious and he's out if it's a torn ACL, they're not going to mortgage the future.
Okay. So let's be positive, right? Let's pretend like Jimmy, he'll be ready for the playoffs, right? Let's just try to be positive here. Maybe it's a meniscus injury. Maybe it's something where he can come back. Maybe it's like the Jokic injury, where like
A
like
hyperextension.
it was
That's the
it
best
wasn't
case.
as bad. So let's pretend that happens. Would you trade him like for MPJ? Like it would be what Kuminga, Moody, Buddy, and probably 2 first-round picks. Like let's just say it's 2 first-round picks. Like would you do that?
Me
'Cause for me,
personally, I would not do 2. I do 1. I
okay.
would not do 2. Just because, my guess is my thinking is the same as the front offices. Michael Porter Jr., I don't think turns you into an automatic title contender. It makes
No, but
you
nobody does. Like unless it's Giannis, like nobody actually makes you a contender. What it gives you is the best possible chance. And
right,
that's
but
what I
that
think
but you got to think big picture. Like the front office is not just thinking all in now. They've never thought
Okay.
like that, man. They want to
So
think about the future too, and that's where those future picks are gonna, they carry a lot of weight. I just
so
look,
they
I
have
could
a
be
ton,
wrong.
man.
I'm just guessing here.
Mhm.
Who knows? But I don't know.
I mean, you're probably right, but like if it's
And not to mention, real quick,
2026,
if you're gonna give up multiple picks, I would personally go for Lowry over
oh
Michael
yeah,
Porter
yeah,
Jr.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
just me,
No, I agree. I
That's
agree,
just
but I don't think Larry is gonna take 2. I think he's gonna take 3. Like
might.
especially with Danny Ainge. So if it's only gonna take 2 and you're only willing to give up 2, that's who I'd go for. Like if we trade this year's pick and then like 2028, right? Like we have like those 2. I think Steph will probably still play for what, like 2 or 3 more years. I think he's got that, honestly, like the
Who
way he's
knows?
playing.
We'll see.
So if you believe in him doing that, then I think you make that trade. You know what I mean?
Congrats, by the way. It took us we've been I don't know how we've been on the air for 50 minutes. I don't get that at all. It feels like 10, sorry. But it took 50 minutes, my apologies, to give Stephen Curry his acknowledgement, an all-star starter. He was selected to crowd pick it up on all-star starter again. And a lot of people were upset that that Anthony Edwards got bumped in favor of, was it Wembanyama? Is that who it came down to? I still think personally, like Luka Doncic is one of the most overrated basketball players in the NBA. And the reason why I say this, before you think I'm crazy with this take, James Harden was getting very similar reverence at this point in his career. And the lack of defense catches up with you at a certain point. Lucas still does not have a ring. I don't know if he's ever going to get a ring if he does not put a serious focus on defense. He doesn't play deep. And that's an issue. When you're just a one-dimensional guy who's like as elite as Luka is offensively, but on the defensive side, you just want to smoke cigarettes and eat cheeseburgers. That's a ding on your record, man. And so all I'm trying to say is that for the Timberwolves fans who are bitter that Anthony Edwards got bumped in favor of Victor Wembanyama, to me, it's not Wemby who should have been benched. It's Luka. The Lakers are flailing. Like the Warriors could easily catch up to him this season because the Lakers are benefiting off the easiest start to the season in terms of strength of schedule as any team. It's kind of like what the Warriors are experiencing now. That's what LA had at the start of the season for like the first 20 games. It was just all Eastern Conference teams. It was home heavy. And now you see the Lakers flailing with these tough games. And Luka's going to put up these numbers, but so did James Harden. James Harden put up insane numbers over his career, but we see him now at 36, 37 with no rings. And I do wonder if Luka might end up with a similar legacy. Because of Luka's 36, 37 with no championship rings, I think we're going to look at him similarly to how we look at Harden. Am I wrong? What do you think? Sharia, great to see you, by the way. I'm sorry we haven't jumped to you yet. Memo, answer that question so I can bring Sharia on the show. Any thoughts on the All-Star game?
Yeah, I mean, it's great Steph was the starter. And then for your Luka take, I think it's hard to win with a guy like that for sure. I think you have to build everything around him to the T. And that's why I think him getting traded to the Lakers was bad for his career because the Mavs, they built their roster entirely upon Luka. I think they were going to win a championship. But then Nico Harrison, I see the vision of why he traded him. Like a lot of people are like, oh, how could you? I see it. But for the return, it made zero sense. It was just a terrible, like if you traded him for like more first round picks and stuff, then okay, I get it. I see it. But yeah,
You could have gone so much like Anthony Davis's trade value is shot, and that was your highlight. Memo, I thank you, brother. I appreciate you. Have a great night.
Yeah.
Thanks. Oh, sorry. Thank you, man. Sharia, great to see you. I'm sorry it took so
Good
long
to
to
see
actually
you.
hear your
Good to
voice. How are
see
you
you.
doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
All right, thank you.
Good.
And if you don't mind, Sharia, I'm gonna put you on the spot with this chat. The family man dropping $9.99. Thank you for the paid donation. Writing, now that Jimmy's hurt, it's obvious Kerr's a hater, that he just doesn't like Jonathan Kuminga. If there was ever a moment to unleash him, it's right now. And we still will not see him. At this point, it feels personal. Let's wait until tomorrow. I think if he's benched tomorrow, I would agree with that sentiment. I just don't know if Kerr was ready to throw him in a situation like tonight. Sharia, what's your reaction to that? And good to see you again.
Well, good to see you too. I think his pride wouldn't allow him to throw him in tonight. We weren't down enough to put him in, but I think there's going to be a bunch of conversations between tonight and tomorrow, between the two of them and the front office and the rest of the team. And we might see him tomorrow, because at the end of the day, who else do we have?
Yeah,
If Jimmy's
exactly.
not playing, I mean, it's kind of like how it is. Who else do we have? You're going to have to play Kuminga at some point, and I'm pretty sure that Jimmy's going to talk to Kuminga. But and if they don't play him, then it's going to be a bunch of chaos.
Yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely right. Steve Kerr again didn't. What was your reaction to that little clip? Because it didn't look like he was trying to hide his emotions there. It was just
he's pissed. He's pissed. That is the face of a man that is pissed and his back is against the wall. But we knew this would happen.
Yeah.
Armando said it. I said it my first show that I came on. I said it. They only go to Kuminga when his back is against the wall. We knew this was going to happen. I said they're asking for an injury in the very first show I came on. And here we are. And the way that he fell looks, I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm not trying to speak negatively over it, but it's giving torn meniscus.
Predicting, yeah.
I'm just saying, it's giving torn meniscus.
Well, torn meniscus, I mean, you could actually come back from that sooner than later. And what was so Anthony Slater, let me look up that tweet, because he posted something about the fact that the Jimmy Butler injury happened to the same, the same knee has experienced issues before. And let me see what he wrote. It was a great tweet because it provided some context. As Steve Kerr said, we're all concerned about the Jimmy Butler right knee injury as the Warriors await MRI results. Let me see. But he wrote, okay, so it was the right knee. He had a meniscus tear in 2018 and an MCL sprain in 2024 on the same knee. Look, I've had a meniscus tear, and the meniscus is how do you describe it? It's like a disc. It basically provides the cushioning between the knees. And I tore it was a really freak injury in my case. This was many years ago when I was a sponsored snowboarder. It's like a whole other life almost. And I was just barreling down this mountain and took this turn weird. And all of a sudden, like I heard the rip in my knee. It was like it just tweaked at this really unusual angle. I was like going up on this wall and coming down, and the nose of my board kind of like stuck, and I had all this momentum and just twisted in a weird way. And I hear this ripping sound in my knee, and I was like, what the F was that? And it didn't hurt that bad initially. And I got up and I was able to ride down the rest of the mountain. And by the time I got to the bottom and then I took the board off and went inside, it started to hurt. And then the pain really got bad. And it took about a month, but it healed on its own. Sometimes you need surgery. It just varies. But what I'm trying to say is that if it's a meniscus tear, you could come back from that. That could be an injury where they say 2-3 months. You might be back in time for the postseason. If it has to do with the MCL, or the MCL is another one where you could maybe survive that. I don't know if you could survive a tear. I've heard of athletes getting MCL tears and it just heals on its own, where you don't need to have a ligament from another part of your body attached to it. ACL, you're cooked. There's just no spinning that. There's just, you're done. Right. You're out for close to a year. And that's what Klay Thompson experienced back in the NBA Finals in 2019. And then unfortunately for him, as he's coming back, then he blew the Achilles in that training camp, which was just an awful experience. And the timing of that was bad. In case you folks forgot, that was right before or right around the time of the draft, and it all but sealed the James Wiseman pick because I don't know. There was discussions of maybe other players being drafted by the Warriors before that injury, and then after that they were like Wiseman locked and sealed. So I don't know. Have you ever had any knee injuries, Shreya?
No, thank God I haven't had any knee injuries, but my mom had a knee replacement last year. Well, yeah, last year, March, and she had a torn meniscus and she had a knee replacement. And I'm just looking at him and the way he fell. The way it happened, it looks like a meniscus to me. He did end up getting up. There was a hot mic. I don't know if you caught that. It was a hot mic, and I watched it on NBA League Pass. So when they went to like a break and they had a logo, it was a hot mic, and he was like, my knee. And Buddy Hill was like, I don't know if anyone else caught this. Buddy Hill was like, it's all right. He said, shut your bitch ass up. So he was playing with him, and then he ends up getting up, and then it flashes back to him and he's smiling and laughing. So to me, like you just said, when you had your snowboard accident, like it was like, it hurt, but then you were like, you were able to like talk through it and stuff. I think it's a meniscus. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm getting from it.
And adrenaline is pumping at this point.
Right.
Like there are a lot of instances where athletes experience these catastrophic injuries, and at the moment, the pain is not. You're not feeling that pain because you have so much adrenaline pumping through you that sometimes you barely even feel it. Then you also have instances where like some players are screaming and they're in agony. It just varies. Yeah. Every single instance is different. But I will say this: the way it buckled and the way he was down on the ground like that. I mean, I know you heard him joking and stuff, but initially, I mean, we all saw his face. It was just I've never seen his face look like that. He looked like he did not look. That just.
No, he was in pain. The hot mic caught it all. He was in pain, but also with him, he's performative. So he's not going to exactly show exactly how bad it is. So.
Yeah. And this is where, again, as Baby Cakes in our chat writes that playing him at the power forward, just dumb. Agreed. It's not something we ever advocated for here. Julian Bashir adding that, and I didn't know this. I don't know if this is to be true. I'm going to trust Julian's take on this, saying that Jimmy wears a knee stabilizer on that knee. And again, that could coincide with the fact that he's had a couple of injuries over the years, partially torn meniscus, MCL sprain a couple of years ago. Who knows? I see braces on both knees. I don't know, like one had a stabilizer and the other didn't. I don't even know what a knee stabilizer is exactly. I'm just accustomed to braces. Do you know what that means, Shreya? What's the difference between a knee stabilizer and a knee brace? Is it just sturdier?
Stable, brace, keep it in place. That's what I see it as. I mean, same shit.
You're not rolling there. That's pretty rough. And by the way, I don't have a rim shot sound effect. So anytime I hear something really funny, go the ball instead. Just maybe do like this. Did it work? It didn't work. Where's my gong? There we go. Flash, how you doing?
How y'all doing?
Good.
All right, man.
Good. No, look, this Jimmy injury, I don't think it's that bad. Something just telling me it's not that bad. Hopefully it's not that bad. But I think
you said it's not that bad. Where'd you get that from?
I just think it's not that bad.
Okay.
Personally. All right. But I think this now puts the whole organization in a tight spot because you've had Kuminga sitting on the bench for what? 3 months almost? 2.5?
No, since December the 18th or either 8th.
All right, so it's been
over a month.
And now what? Because you don't.
I want to really quickly mention this too. And by the way, Abraham DeLeons, who used to be really active in her chat, and now we only hear from him when Buddy Hield does a good night. Abraham, why are you so quiet, man? Like I'm not gonna rip Buddy if you're a regular presence again. I promise. I know you love Buddy, and I will shut up about Buddy if it means you're more vocal. Your takes were always really smart, but that's not what I wanted to go to here. It was Nick the Greek wrote something that I think is something to consider, which is where's your goddamn comment? I can't find it. Well, Nick the Greek in our chat, longtime Golden Dazer, brought up the fact of the Warriors. They had 2 of their two-way players active tonight. One of those is a player we've talked about a long time now, LJ Cryer, someone who I still hope is going to join the show soon. But the other one is a relatively new signing. He replaced the Warriors' second-round draft pick, Alex Tui. His name is Malavi Leons, who was previously on the Thunder's a G League team. And Malavi Leons, I believe, is 6'9". He's long. He's athletic. And what Nick the Greek was saying in the chat is that Kuminga still might not play because they have this guy, Malavi Leons. They also have Guy Santos. It would feel personal if that happened.
But
it would feel damn personal.
I've been
if
saying
Steve
that
Kerr opted to play those guys ahead of Kuminga, and then Kuminga doesn't get traded. That's all. That would be all the evidence you need. That's the exclamation point on this being a personally negative relationship. But it might be that possibility exists. Who knows? And we'll see. I don't know.
It's not basketball related. The reason Kuminga's not playing is not basketball related.
Which is why I think the idea of a Malavi Leons is very real in terms of someone like that suddenly getting minutes.
So they're just going to throw him out there tomorrow? What are we talking about?
They did that with Pat Spencer. They did that with Ty Jerome. They did that with Anthony Lamb. These were all two-way players. They did that with Chris Chiozza. It's not like Steve Kerr has an aversion to two-way players. He's actually notorious for it.
But this whole thing could have been avoided. Okay? Even the Jimmy injury could have been avoided if you had traded for somebody for Kuminga. Okay? They have made this a civil war of sorts. Okay? And we're not going to know about it because the team is very private and hush-hush. But you can tell. Because what are they going to do now? Kerr's face was one of just... He looked like somebody told him the worst news ever. But he knows. So we'll see. But I don't know how Kuminga's dealing with this because I can see it now. They're going to come to, hey, want to play today? No, I actually don't. Like, what are you talking about?
Well, he's going to have to play if they. It's one thing to come up with a quick injury with a Thunder team coming to town and Steph, Dre, Jimmy all saying like, yeah, we're going to be DNP'd. It was that game was a setup. Like that game was a trap. Like, of course, Kuminga is going to go last minute and tell the team, hell effing no, I'm not going to play.
Oh, my neck, my back, my neck and my back. Oh.
I play that clip because Kuminga was ruled out because of a lower back injury, but you can't do that now. I mean, now if you're called, you got to play.
You can't. So this whole saga has taken another twist and turn.
Hell yeah, it has.
Right? Like another twist and turn.
Sharia, let me ask you this, and then Slash, I'll ask you right after. Jimmy's going to be out regardless, right? Mm-hmm. In your opinion, tomorrow night, Warriors Raptors, who's your starting five?
Steph. Okay, so Steph, Draymond, Al.
Steph. Al's in the starting lineup. He's not
going to play.
We're
gonna have to. I forgot he's not playing. So yeah. Steph.
Moody, right?
Moody. Quentin Post.
Okay.
Will Richard.
Okay.
Moody.
Yeah.
I might have to bring Pods in and give him that. Let me just say this. I'm not sure. Let me just say this, and it's okay to laugh.
Fuck you.
Not at you, just the idea.
No, but listen.
Oh my God.
Here's the thing about Pods. Listen, I hate to have to do it, but I have to be honest. The thing with Pods is when people start talking about him crazy, he delivers. Just saying. He wants the smoke. He does. Yeah. And at the end of the day, like, I'm very critical of him. There's a lot of things that I don't like that he does. But the one thing I can say about him is when it gets hot, when he gets hot in the kitchen and they're talking a lot of trash about him, it fuels him. He steps up. He answers the call. He delivers. So I can't hate on him. I'd be a hater if I say like he's not like valuable at this moment. He is valuable at this moment. He has proven himself, and he does deliver. Pods wants the smoke. There's a lot of people that don't want the smoke. I love Moses Moody, but when shit got rocky with him, the shots wasn't falling. Now they start saying he might be in the trade package. He's shooting the lights out, but Pods, when they moved him to the bench, he was like, not having it. He got it right. So, I mean,
that's true.
He might have to. I mean,
I'm
just
true
saying.
Against bad teams. I don't see it against good teams, but Toronto's not a good team. So
who would you start
as the fifth guy?
Yeah, just the whole thing. But then he's coming off of the injury. Would you still put him in the starting lineup?
No.
Coming off of that injury, and we don't even know if he's going to be available tomorrow.
No.
Who, Guy Santos? You mean?
Yeah.
It's an ankle injury. I never pretend those are that serious, even though I'm sure they are sometimes. But
yeah. Steph got on two braces right now because of ankle injuries.
Yeah. Well, and I speak from as someone who's had reconstructive surgery on both my ankles, so I'm very familiar with ankle injuries and all that. And the bottom line with the ankle is you don't have it's one of the least complex part of your bodies. It's why typically the recovery time is quicker than anywhere else. Like you don't have complex like tendons and you don't have like a meniscus. Like it's literally just it's bones and ligament and that's it. And in my case, I had to have like the bone in both my ankles shaved and reconstructed. It was a crazy thing. So hopefully Guy will be fine. Slash, who do you think should be the fifth starter?
I actually like that starting lineup. Okay. And I think I like it because there's speed, right? Because that's the one thing that this team lacks is speed. Once the other team starts running, that's it. Everybody might as well just wait because we don't have speed. But that lineup gives us speed and defense. And I wish Al could play, but, the back-to-back thing. Because Al has been playing amazing to me, right?
And by the way, the chat has the answer. I don't know how we all missed it.
TJ Trey should, too, because they need to play him more.
I agree, Trey.
But that's not the answer. Julian Bashir had the answer. Do you know who the fifth guy is going to be? It's so obvious. I'm sorry we missed this. It's Will Richard. Will Richard's like 100% going to get that spot. It's going to be Steph, Moody, Will, Dre, Post. That's going to be your five. I don't think it's even like up for debate. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Do you guys do you two disagree? Sharia?
I think I said Will, but I didn't say Post. I didn't put Post in there. I think I threw Pajensky in there, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. The thing with Quentin Post is I love Quentin Post, but I have said this from the beginning when I got on the show originally. He needs that upper body strength. I just want him to continue that because when we face teams like the Raptors, they're long, they're strong, they're athletic, and that bringing the rebound down, that offensive rebound down is not going to fly. It's just not going to fly.
Yeah. And for the people in the chat saying DeAnthony Melton should start, I would agree with you if he was not on a minute restriction. But last I checked, he still is on that minute restriction. They're not pushing him past 25 minutes. And so what that usually means is they bring him off the bench. He has a limited run in the first half. So you can play him more in the second half, especially the fourth quarter. He should be the starter. I mean, in normal situations, yes. But as he's recovering and coming back from with some load management, I'm gonna guess. I would guess Will Richard would be the fifth. Is that Slash though, or what are your thoughts on that?
I actually like that because Will has been playing really well. Mm-hmm. Maybe not shooting like he was in the beginning of the year, but all the other little things that he does, the defense and all that stuff, he's locked in. So I actually like that. Because again, you need speed. You need somebody that can run and kind of move around. And sometimes we roll out our starting five, and that's why we get into slow starts because we don't have the speed. These teams in the beginning of the game, they'll just run on us. That's a 10-point swing, and then we're playing catch-up. So we need to address that early on, and hopefully it's a better outcome because we owe the Raptors one, I think, right?
Yeah, so, there's going to be some payback. Yeah.
And
That was
with
one of the
Jimmy,
ugliest losses of the year, easily. That game in Toronto where they just blew a lead at the very end and Toronto won. Yeah, I'm with you guys. Someone at the very beginning of the show, someone asked if Ryan Leong was going to come on tonight. The tentative plan is yes. We shall see. Apparently, Martin Luther King's holiday is causing some chaos in San Francisco, traffic wise. So he told me it should be okay. Sorry to divert from the focus of the show. Hamza Kassem is trolling our chat because he wants an answer to this, and here it is. Well, at least we'll address it now. Hamza Kassem, thank you for being patient. Asking if Jimmy is out for the year, if this is a worst case scenario, and again, he's the MRI is being taken tonight. I don't know. I've never had an MRI done, so I don't know what the whole process is in terms of how soon you can flip that around. From my experience watching sports and seeing players with these serious injuries, we usually don't get the answer till the morning. But I don't know when exactly. But let's say for the sake of argument, it's a worst case scenario. It's a torn ACL. Hamza Kassem's asking, is our season cooked? Meaning is the pursuit of a fifth championship for Steph basically just no longer a realistic a goal? Sharia, I'll start with you. What's your answer to this?
What you think, sir? Yes, that's what I think. Because I think that as much shit as the chat talks about Jimmy Butler not being worth it, and he doesn't do this and doesn't do that, yes, he does. Yes, he does. He plays a very, 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 very big role on this team. I mean, yeah, because Steph is already carrying what he's carrying. Yes, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
And
with Kuminga not being integrated into the team, into the system, you don't have somebody else that can step up and do some of the things that Jimmy can do. You don't.
No.
And I think it would also take a coaching change for that to happen. Because I don't think Kerr is even interested in actually having to figure something like that out. Because look at what he's done to Kuminga. I'm telling you, Kuminga being on the bench is one of our biggest problems right now. And it's not that I don't want him traded or anything like that. It's just that he's there and he's not doing anything. Right? So I just, we're in a pickle.
Well, the memo in our chat, who was on our show just earlier, is asking or is stating that they're sad and they want some hope. Here's the best case scenario. And I don't know if you two agree with this, and then we'll bring Tim of the city next. Okay. Before we say goodbye to Slash. Here's the best case scenario. Kuminga plays and he turns into everything we all hope for. What are the odds of that hope coming to fruition? I put it like 3%, but it ain't zero. So I'd say that's and at a bare minimum, look, I know Kuminga frustrates the hell out of a lot of you folks, largely because Steve Kerr doesn't like him, and a lot of you just agree with whatever Steve Kerr thinks. But Kuminga is an exciting player. It ain't boring. It is not a boring product when he's on the court. And so at a bare minimum, we could finally find, if he's actually given a real run here, and if he's actually given minutes and does take over the Jimmy role, at least maybe we'll find out once and for all, what the hell this kid is. I mean, that's been my whole thing from the start, is you're never going to truly understand who he is as a player if he's not getting a run up there. And when I say a run, I mean a commitment, not a 2 weeks and I'm over this thing, months. You got to just commit. You got to just make a decision. He's one of our key guys. I'm going to sit back and play him regardless of whether or not he frustrates me or takes a shot sooner than I like, or he did not set the perfect screen for Steph, or whatever Kerr's reasoning is. You got to commit just so we can figure out what he is. Because if you do play him, let's say 30 plus minutes a night for the rest of the season, and he ends up being a guy that gives you 20 points, 20.7 rebounds, but for whatever reason, he's not clutch, or for whatever reason, suddenly that's your ceiling, at least and you can make the proper next steps. But until that's it's a huge what if that's just still out there. It sucks.
I agree. And then how do you fix that relationship? Right?
Well, I don't think you do. Well, I think the only way you fix it is if you play him. I think if you play him, and they actually win, I think the relationship gets fixed pretty fast. I think.
And Laker probably is gonna have to get involved if that happens. He
Maybe.
probably is gonna have to tell him like, no, you're playing him. No ifs, like this is not a discussion. You are playing this kid, and that's it. Because
Well, you see in the post game, he's like, yeah, he's available. Yeah. He's gonna play him. There's no other options. You have to remember what happened with Minnesota. It's not a question of if he's capable. We already know he's capable. We've seen it with Minnesota last year. It's just like, and Steve looks kind of desperate from my understanding. You know, from what we saw this evening, he looks desperate. It's going to take some talking to with Jimmy, I think, as far as like, they did you wrong. I understand. I know they ain't shit, but just go ahead and get out there and do your thing. It's going to take that. That's basically, it's going to take that.
Jimmy's going to have to talk to him.
He's going to have to talk to him. He's going to have to talk to him because Kerr is desperate. You saw that. He's like, yeah, he's available.
Yeah.
We know that. We know that, Steve. We know he's available. But it just depends on how he feels because he's been done wrong. And when you've been done wrong by your employer, you're not really feeling it. It's icky.
Yeah. Exactly.
Slash, any final thoughts?
He scores 35, and then it's like, he scored 35 points? Where was this? No, but that's it. That's it. We'll just see what's going on with Jimmy. I guess tomorrow morning we'll find out, his prognosis, and then they're gonna have to go from there. But it was a good win. At least
Slash, what did you think about Trace Jackson Davis making the first three of his career?
It's
like a 50-footer.
No, it was great. It was great. And then he waved. He waved to the I don't know what the Heat were doing. But
he did like a queen wave too. It was like a
he's like, bye. Good night.
I dig it.
Good. I don't know what the Heat were doing, but they have a history of talking on the bench and saying some just things, and it gets people. That's what happened with Clay a couple months ago. Somebody said something to him on the Heat bench, and the kid had to go and apologize because it was a whole thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Who was that guy who disrespected Clay?
It was a rookie, I think.
Yeah,
I
forgot who it was though.
So the Heat have a history of poking, and it's like you're poking, but you're down 20. What do you think is gonna happen? People are gonna start making ridiculous shots, and that's what TJ did, and it was cool, But I'll get off of here. I appreciate y'all.
Of course, Slash. Appreciate
I'll
you.
stick around. I'm gonna stick around.
Love it, brother.
All right, peace.
Have a good night, Slash. G4M in the chat's writing that Kuminga won't play. He demanded a trade. Doesn't matter. Like, demand a trade. Don't demand a trade. If the Warriors want you to play, you can avoid one game by bringing up the lower back thing. You can't just sit out voluntarily. Like, they'll start withholding your check if you do that.
Yeah, you get suspended. That's not how this business works.
You can't do that. It looks like and I think Ryan Leong joins us just in perfect time. I don't see his camera on yet. There he is. There he is. Ryan, give me a sign if you're ready. If not, are you ready? Can you give me a wave? Thumbs up. All right. Ryan Leong joins us. I believe you're outside Chase.
I'm outside the building,
Center.
yes.
Ryan, meet Sharia. Sharia Ryan. Sharia sometimes sometimes sits in as a co-host when she's available. She's a stylist to the stars when
nice.
She's not on this show. That's so. There's the introductions. And Ryan, how are you doing, brother?
I'm good. I wish I was still inside the building, but I have to leave because I'm getting a power shut off by PG&E. So I got to get home and put the car in the garage before the power gets cut off at midnight.
PG&E is one of those.
PG&E is one of the most evil companies out there.
Evil.
I work for a state agency. I don't want to say which one, but we get criticized, but we are nothing like PG&E. PG&E is unique to itself.
It's vile, man. And if you've seen that movie, it's not The Short Bus. What is it called? The one with Matthew McConaughey about the fires up near Chico Paradise, the Paradise fires. Like Apple TV came out with a movie recently. It's not The Short Bus. I'm joking saying that. But you guys haven't seen that movie? You don't know what I'm talking about?
I
Well,
mean,
anyways,
I'm familiar with it. I think a film was made about it, but yeah, I mean, these guys are just an evil utility. I mean, if it wasn't for the fact that people need power to obviously, go about their lives, I think we would try to find a better solution. Anyway,
and I bring up that movie because those fires were largely the responsibility of PG&E. I digress. We're not here to talk about energy companies. Ryan, you were at the game tonight, like you always are, but tonight was a somber one. Because of the Jimmy Butler injury. Anything?
Yes.
Any news? And what was your reaction to that?
Not yet. I did stick around long enough to get Curry because as you know, I do stuff for Bay Area Sports Wrap, and we now have a nice camera now, thanks to my colleague John Wong, who lent me his nice Sony camera. So I always try to get Curry on post game if I can first, and then I go to the other visiting side. But yeah, when Curry was there was no word, and then when Kerr came out, there was no word. So we don't know. He's getting an MRI. That's all we know.
How bad did it look to you? Were you watching when it happened?
I was. I didn't see it real well until I saw the replay. You could see his as he lands, his knee goes one way, his leg goes the other. You just hope it's a really bad sprain and not some nothing like an ACL. So yeah, and it was very quiet there, and I had a friend who was actually at the game, and she was wondering why there aren't paramedics out there. But usually players either get helped off the court or they walk off the court themselves, and that was the case tonight. So
yeah. Well, they have pretty much like a mini hospital in the building too. I mean, that's going too far, but they've got some supplies. They've got doctors. I mean, there's help.
Right.
But that was brutal. But what was your reaction to how the team reacted to that? Because in most cases, I do feel like teams get energized if one of your star players goes down. And this was a fairly close game before the injury. And then it felt like they blew it open almost immediately. What did you see there, if anything?
No, I would say so. By the way, I'm getting on a bus real quick, so it might be kind of odd here, but no, I agree. I don't think you're gonna lose me. I think we'll be good at signal. It's just I would say the players definitely did respond to it, though. I mean, I think it was kind of a wake up call because the whole game was close until they could finally pull away. And even I'm listening to Tim Roy on the radio every time I'm at the game, and he was saying that if the Warriors could just find a way to put it together, they could turn it into a rout, which they finally did eventually.
Which they did. Yeah. So he squeezed that in between elevation sensation. Does he still say that?
He does, but he doesn't do it that often unless somebody, has a monster dunk,
That's true. I didn't even think about that, man. You're right.
Yeah.
You need a big dunker for him to say elevation sensation. What are some of his other coined phrases? I haven't listened to the radio in ages. So
that's his main one, really. I mean, if you listen to Gary Gerald, the Kings announcer, he'll say he's got the bucket, or something like that. So
the great Tim Roy, by the way. I love him. I think we all do. Maybe you don't. I've heard some rumors, Ryan, that you hate him secretly, but on the record, I'm kidding.
No, he's great. Yeah, come on, man.
Sharia, any questions for Ryan Leong, who joins us live from a Muni bus following the Warriors?
No, he pretty much answered what I would have asked, was basically from his perspective, how did the injury look? I felt like it was serious also. In my mind, I was thinking meniscus just by the way he landed and how his reaction was after the fact.
Right.
So Ryan, you've answered what I would have asked already.
Okay, sure. Yeah. I hope he's okay. I mean, we'll find out in the morning.
Right.
Oh. Right, Ryan, this is the question that I think is lingering in a lot of people's minds is what does the team do if he's out for let's say this is a serious injury, it's an ACL and he's out for the year. Like Kerr said after the game that he was asked, does this mean Kuminga now has a role again? And he said yes, but he said it in a very terse manner. It was like a one-word answer. Is Kuminga back? I mean, what do you think? What's the next step here?
I don't know. I almost feel like, first of all, they want to trade JK as quickly as possible. And I think that they would only play him if they had nobody else left. So I think you're going to see other guys get minutes. JK is still not going to see any playing time.
That's what I think too, which is crazy. And you say they want to trade him, but do they? Is it? I know Kerr does. Is the front office there? Are they at a point where they want to move on?
I don't know. But if they've got Kerr's back, then I can only imagine that they probably back the coach and they would probably go along with what he says. Is my guess. That's my guess. I can't.
I used to think that's the logical way to go, but we've also seen how this thing's been going on the last few years, and we also know that what Kerr thinks isn't always necessarily what the front office thinks, and Sharia, any questions for Ryan before we say goodbye?
No, just following up on what you're saying. What Kerr thinks isn't usually what the front office thinks, but like it ultimately does boil down to Steve Kerr. Because if that was the case, we would have seen him, right?
Right. And I think
We
for the most
haven't.
part, they do support what Kerr wants. I mean, they're not in a position where the team is really struggling. It's not exactly like a Don Nelson situation where Don Nelson had to say on Chris Webber, and eventually, ownership, decided that was a bad move and they fired Don Nelson. I don't see that happening with Steve Kerr anytime soon.
Yeah, no.
LJ Cryer and Alavi, what's the other guy's name? The other two-way player, Malavi Leons was there tonight, and they played garbage time minutes. But LJ Cryer looked really good in preseason and training camp. Malavi Leons was a late addition. I think they signed him about a month ago. He was formerly with the OKC Thunder on their G League team. Is there a role for them? Like anything you see from these two-way guys? Because there's the potential could be exciting. I don't know.
I don't see it. I only see them having some kind of a role, Cyrus, if the team was really tanking and not playing well. I just don't see these guys getting much playing time either, except in garbage minutes.
Young Wes in our chat's asking, Ryan, what bus line are you on? I can guess what neighborhood you're going to.
Well, I'm only going for a few stops. I'm on the 22. Fillmore.
You didn't have to answer. I just love that you're on Muni. That's all time, brother. I love it. I love it. San Francisco's public transportation. Man, you're on a bus. You're not on the train, right?
No, on the bus.
Beautiful. Look at you, man.
Yeah.
Well, the service is immaculate.
Oh yeah.
Versus the Chase Center, like it's really clear.
Oh, thank you.
Are you alone on the bus? Are there people on the bus?
Oh no,
with
there's
you?
plenty of people on the bus.
Okay, can we see? All right, we got some. I don't see any any crazy crackheads.
No, thankfully, not yet at least. But I'm getting off the bus before that.
Okay. All right, look safe. Ryan, hopefully we'll bring you back on soon in a more controlled environment. But I love the fact you joined us from Muni. Anything we forgot besides the fact that you have a terrific YouTube channel called Bay Area Sports Rap? People can follow you on Twitter at Ryan Leong. It's super easy. Anything we missed?
I would just say I got a cool tagline from Del Curry, and if you want to check out my podcast, I'll have to send you a link so you can post it for people, or I'll tweet it out.
Well, and in case people don't know what you're talking about, that when you say the word tagline at the beginning of every one of your episodes, you have some really high profile person providing an introduction. Mm-hmm. There are some huge names, man. Tell the audience just a few of the biggest names that are leading into each one of your episodes.
Well, I mean, I don't use them very often, but I've gotten Gavin Newsom. I got the Go-Go's, Jim Nance, Kevin Harlan, Ian Eagle, Del Curry. So yeah, Steve Kerr. Yeah, that's right. I forgot I got him too. Yeah, exactly.
Steve Young give you a tagline.
I do have Steve Young, and I've got Jerry Rice too. I forgot about that. I have those guys as well.
Joe Montana
getting off the bus. Did not get him. He is somebody that's hard to get.
He is. He's
hard to get. But I do have the guys.
Go on. I know you're busy.
Oh no, I'm good. I'm actually off the bus now, so I actually can talk kind of freely for a second. So
we'll let you go.
Okay,
Ryan,
very good.
We'll bring you back on soon. Love you. Thanks for joining us for a few minutes.
Yeah, man. Of course. Hey, see, it just shows you anywhere, anytime. I got you.
Have a good night, brother. Thank you. That is the great, the legend himself, Ryan Leong, joining us from Chase Center again. He gave me a heads up ahead of time that power was going to get shut off at his house, and there's all sorts of shit going on in the city pertaining with those issues. But that is Ryan Leong joining us of Bay Area Sports Rap and NBC News Radio. Tim of the City. You've been on the show before, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Good to see you again. And when you say Tim of the City, is the city San Francisco?
Yeah, San Francisco, but I don't live there anymore.
Where are you now?
San Jose.
Oh, okay. Still the Bay Area. All right. What's on your mind, brother?
Yeah. Just real quick, from what I know about MRIs and ACLs, is that it's fairly straightforward, that they could usually diagnose that within the hour once you get an MRI done. And especially if they have a machine in the house, but they're like 3 blocks away from UCSF now.
Exactly.
So, assuming they get 2-3 opinions on it, I mean, I would imagine they would know by midnight tonight.
Yeah.
So if you don't hear
anything, won't release the information until the morning.
Probably.
Which, Jesus, man. I mean, it sounds like you know something about MRIs. Do you know
Well,
something about these kinds of injuries or
no,
no?
I was a nurse. I mean, I am a nurse, but I don't work in like, that kind of area. But I'm somewhat familiar with it.
Yeah, and
You had
Dr.
mentioned
Nirav Pandya is on social media right now saying, confirming what you're, or doubling down with your sentiments, which is that for knee injuries, you can typically get an MRI right away. And then the results take about an hour. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, or less. But I'm assuming they're getting like 2 or 3 opinions on it. Like the top experts in the area, probably. So you got to wake them up, get them out of bed, have them look on their computer. I'm sure.
Which is probably why the results will not be out until the morning, is because you don't get that confirmation.
Yeah, and though another thing I'll say too is that they said he was joking about the injury, but you remember when Clay tore his ACL, he didn't even need to be helped off the court. So
some of the it's just every one of these is different.
Yeah.
I mean, we all saw like what it looked like initially, and that alone, I think, is what makes this such a somber thing, because it didn't look good. It just did not look good. I don't think anyone's ever seen Jimmy Butler writhing in pain like that. Right. Is it writhing or writhing? I think it's writhing in pain. And it's yeah. And then I've what I'm seeing from on the socials is athletes who have had ACL injuries, almost all of them saying that I've had this. That's what it is. Like that's and let's just hope they're wrong, though. I mean, there's no way to properly predict any of these. Do you have any opinions on what the Warriors should and could do as the next step?
Well, I think the next step is obvious. You have to go into a rebuild, but will they do that? Especially this year under this coach, I don't think so. I think they do nothing, and they just do what they can this season. That's what I think is going to happen.
Okay. Sure. Any questions?
Yeah.
No, I'm just listening. I'm thinking. For some unknown reason, I just don't see them trading Kuminga. I really don't. I felt like that the other day. Now this injury has happened. I still feel like that. I feel like that more, because I feel like, do you take a chance on a Michael Porter Jr., that person that you don't know, that gets chatty on these podcasts, like, do you take a chance on someone that you don't know? Or do you stick with Kuminga and have Jimmy talk to him, or maybe you can come to some common ground to keep this train moving, at least for the next month or so? Do you make amends? Do you make it work? Or do you go on the outside of the team and put a whole nother piece that can spin this whole thing just into more chaos than we're already in?
Yeah, I hear you. I'm with you. Let's hear from we got some sound to play. And side note again, Dr. Nirav Pandya, if you're unfamiliar with who he is, he's kind of become notorious as being the voice of sports medicine here in the San Francisco Bay Area. Makes routine appearances on programs. I think he has his own podcast. And he's been commenting a little bit on this situation. Another post of his that I'm reading right now writes, quote, "Best case scenario would be a hyperextension type injury where the bone bruise, there's a bone bruise and no major ligament damage. And in a situation like that, he'd miss several weeks. Worst case scenario is an ACL tear. The key is that it's hard to definitely say anything off the video. The team will do their workup," unquote. Another report that the Warriors have conducted the MRI that's happening. It's either happening right now or it's already happened, but the Warriors did not hesitate to get that MRI done. Buddy Hield saying that Jimmy Butler has been in great spirits, hoping it's not too serious so we can get back on the court soon. And speaking of lighthearted subjects, I want to play this clip if you folks don't mind. This is Stephen Curry again. And Steph was asked, and the audio is actually clean on this one, which is I'm encouraged about, was asked about being named an all-star starter again. I don't have any of the records in front of me. Sheree, are you like, how many all-star selections is this for Steph? I'm going to look that up right now because it's an incredible achievement. But do you know off the top of your head?
No, but I know it's a lot.
I think it
Tim,
might
do
be
you know?
11.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
11 or 12.
I don't know the number.
Let me see if I can find those exact figures. But before I play this clip, because I'm very curious, it's how many? It's I mean, hold on. I need to find this number real quick. Hold on. There's got to be a story here. Here we go. 12 all-star teams for Stephen Curry. This is courtesy of Angelina Martin of NBC Sports Bay Area. So 12 selections, 11 starting nods. That is damn impressive. 11-time all-star starter Stephen Curry. Bravo. And he was asked about that. He was asked about this incredible achievement. And let's hear from Wardell, who, again, an all-star starter again. The oldest all-star starter. No, I was going to say in NBA history. That can't be right. I saw someone post that today, but hasn't LeBron James been a starter in the last year or two? Because I could be I don't know. Well, let me look that up while we're playing this. Anyways, here is Steph talking about being named an all-star starter for the 11th time in his career. Incredible achievement.
I love the fact that pretty much every acknowledgement you get at this point is you're the oldest to do something. So don't ever take that for granted. I appreciate everybody who voted, my teammates who continue to set the table for me to do what I do and keep pushing the envelope on what's possible at this stage of my career. So I'm very grateful, and I'm gonna enjoy the weekend, but just the idea that I can, get back to that level year after year, and the work that goes into it, I love it, and I hopefully I have a couple more, in the future, but this is pretty special for sure. I love the fact that.
So I'm looking it up right now. Robert Parrish, incredible. The Chief was 43 years, 254 days old, meaning he was just shy of his 44th birthday when he started. I forgot about this. When he started for the Eastern Conference in 1997. That's remarkable. And back then, you had to pick a center. So my guess is the East just had no good centers. I don't know how Shaquille O'Neal did not get the starting nod over Parrish, but this is courtesy of Basketball Reference. And then I think Wardell is officially the oldest to start in the West because LeBron James is known for being the oldest participant. Well, how could that be? Because Parrish was did he not participate? Was he just a starter but didn't actually play? Well, Chad, can you help us out here? I don't know what the hell is going on here. Oh, here it is. Okay, Stephen Curry is the oldest guard in NBA history to be an all-star starter. Okay, that's where it gets notorious, but it's a little finicky beyond that. So there you go. Congrats to Steph. Shri, any thoughts on that? Do you care about the All-Star game still?
Yeah, I watch it. I mean, I still watch it. If it's anything like NBA basketball related, I'm going to watch it. But, I mean, good for him. I mean, the oldest person was, 43, you said?
The Chief, Robert Parrish, yeah.
Listen, I'm 44, and it's hard every morning getting up. So I'm telling you, that's an amazing accomplishment. Jesus God.
Sure, is the hardest part of getting older getting up in the morning? That's what I find.
Yeah, or moving too fast, sneezing, coughing too hard. Shit can go left really fast.
Dude, getting old just sucks. Mornings, I used to just get up in the morning and just roll. And now I get up in the morning and I'm like, I feel like I'm dying. I'm like,
yeah, it's real.
It is real. It's a struggle. Like even just making the coffee is a struggle. But then once the coffee's in there and then the engine starts to get going. And Tim, any final thoughts?
Well, I don't want to take up too much time, but I just wanted to mention that you always talk about Pods' free throw percentage.
Yeah.
And I looked it up about which players have had poor free throw percentage and high 3-point percentage. So, they shoot horrible from the charity stripe, but they shoot well from the 3-point line.
I'm not saying Podziemski is horrible, but he's one of the worst free throw shooters on the team. That's a fact.
No, I mean, by his own stats, he's close to 70%. And if you look at sub 70% players that shot, over 35%, it's actually a pretty short list of players.
Who is it?
So Bruce Bowen's on there. I think Rajon Rondo and notoriously Nick Anderson. And one thing you say about all three of those guys is they were all good defenders. And so that kind of damns Pods because he's a horrible defender. So if anyone's hoping that, or if Pods is hoping that this is going to lead to a contract, I think only the Warriors would be crazy enough to offer him any kind of, have an offer sheet of, multi-year offer sheet. But that's all I wanted to mention.
Like if Steve Kerr's still around after this year, he probably will get it. If Kerr's not around after this year, I could still see maybe an offer, but like $7 million a year or something like that, like a low ball offer. He's not a guy who you're paying, 10, 15, 20 million a season. Like I don't know. Sharia, what do you think he's going to get? Brandon Podziemski when he's on the market or when it's time to talk contract extension?
About 9, not double. So it's about 9. I say about 9 or 8 million. I don't know. Like you said, it just depends on if Steve Kerr's around or not. If Steve Kerr's around, then of course he's going to cape for him, advocate for him. He'll get more. If he's not around, he's very basic, very mid.
And then Kinetic brings up one of the most dreaded topics, the most depressing part of all this, besides the title hopes evaporating. What are we going to talk about with this team? And again, this is where the Kuminga piece is important, because if you're not playing Kuminga and you don't have Jimmy Butler anymore, this is my biggest concern. Is every NBA team right now, their primary focus defensively already is Stephen Curry. But when you had Jimmy Butler on the floor with him, you also had to worry about him and the free throw attempts and all the offense he generated. I mean, the guy puts up good assist numbers as well. When he's not on the floor, who's what's stopping teams from tripling Steph, right? Like from just going. I pity Steph is what I'm trying to say, because that's one of his most important pieces to help him on that floor. And again, Kuminga at least makes things interesting. It's a fun brand of basketball to watch. I'm fascinated. I am riveted.
He's gonna have to speak up. He's gonna have to use his voice.
Yeah, it is fascinating to me that the Warriors, like, no matter what in the Joe Lacob era, always find a way to keep things interesting. But if Jimmy's out, this is a test. We shall see what happens. I don't know. Tim, any final thoughts?
No, that's it. Thanks.
All right. Thank you, brother. Thank you, Tim. Are you ready for a scoreboard check and then we call it a wrap?
Sure.
All right. Why is Green Day being brought up in our chat? Young West. I know he's open to the Super Bowl, or they're open to the Super Bowl. I love Green Day, by the way. All right, let's go through the rest of the association on a night where we wait and see the status of Jimmy Butler and what's next. I mean, it's heavy stuff. Let me get some tunes here, and we'll check out elsewhere in the association. Today is Martin Luther King Jr.'s holiday. Shreya, any thoughts on that?
Well, we laid low. My household laid low. We stayed in. We spent time together as a family. We ate, and we just, stayed indoors. We had a lot of snow, so.
But your family had the day off?
Well, I did. My husband did. My mom's retired, and my daughter was out of school.
Oh, so there you go. Yeah, so you had the day off. Good stuff. And I did appreciate NBC having basketball games throughout. We also had the NCAA National Championship. Congrats to the Indiana Hoosiers. I'm guessing that's their first championship ever. I could be mistaken on that, but in my lifetime, they've never been a powerhouse when it comes to football. So bravo to them. And again, we had a bunch of games today. We start things off with the Milwaukee Bucks, 112-110 winners over the Atlanta Hawks in Atlanta. Giannis Antetokounmpo, 21 points, 17 boards, 6 assists in the win. Nickeil Alexander-Walker, 32 points, 6 boards, 6 assists in the loss. The Hawks dropped to 20-25. The Bucks improved to 18-24. What, in your opinion, Sharia, what's a worse situation? Let's say for the sake of this discussion right here, let's say Jimmy Butler is indeed out for the year, and this is a serious injury. Who has it worse, the Warriors or the Bucks?
The Warriors.
Really?
If he's out for the rest of the year, yeah, the Warriors.
Damn, that's saying something. That's saying something. Okay, okay. Oh my God, Jimmy, brother, hope you're okay, man.
Me too. I hope he's okay.
I hope he's okay. I'm not optimistic about it, but I hope he's okay. The defending champion OKC Thunder taking care of business today in the land, also known as Cleveland. 136-104 winners by the Thunder today in Cleveland. The Thunder improved to 36-8. The Cavaliers dropping to 24-20. Chet Holmgren, 28 points, 8 rebounds in the win. Evan Mobley, 16 points, 7 rebounds in the loss. The Cavs dropping to 24-20, as I mentioned a moment ago. Sharia, in your opinion, Evan Mobley, I feel like constantly skirts under the radar of criticism. Because this is a guy that was, what was he, the 4th pick? No, he was the 2nd. Hold on, what was he? Because that draft was deep. It was Cade Cunningham. I think Scotty Barnes was the 5th pick. I know Jalen Suggs was a high pick. I can't remember if Evan Mobley was 2nd or 3rd. I bring him up because is he kind of a disappointment at this point?
He doesn't do enough for me.
Yeah.
He doesn't do enough for me, just like Miles Turner doesn't do enough for me. To be that size, I just need more.
Agreed.
I'm underwhelmed by both of them.
Wholeheartedly agree. Urquidez family, thank you. Evan Mobley was the 2nd pick in that draft. Yeah, it's kind of a letdown. You'd think if he was gonna be something really special, you'd start to see it by now. And the fact that this is likely what you're going to be getting for the rest of his career, it's Ernie the Man. Well, his name is Ernie. His handle on Twitter is Ernie the Man. This is Jimmy Butler's one of his closest friends, maybe his closest. They're like, they might be best friends. And I bring him up because his Twitter account is always riveting to me in the sense that when he tweets, you're usually getting Jimmy Butler sentiments through his best buddy's words. And Ernie replied to a tweet yesterday. Sorry about that. Sharia, I'm so sorry. I left you.
It's okay.
You okay?
Yeah, I looked. I was like, is it just me?
Okay. Right. Sorry about that. I accidentally hit something and I just left. I left the studio. My bad. Thank you, Sharia. Thanks for holding the fort. See, even my dog Bubba's like, "What are you doing, Dad? You just left the show. You left Sharia there all by yourself. Shame on you. Look at him. He's all riled up." I know that was messed up. I'm sorry. Ernie the Man replied to a tweet. She's okay, buddy.
I'm good. Thank you.
So Ernie replied to a tweet that listed names of potential Golden State Warriors trade targets, and it was the usual names. It was Michael Porter Jr. What are some other names out there that have been mentioned? Like Daniel Gafford.
Marketing. Who else is the other one?
Marketing was not mentioned, actually. Yeah,
it wasn't. Oh, was it Trey Murphy?
I'll pull it up. Just to be safe. And it was interesting, and I'll explain why in just one moment. because what he wrote in this tweet, here it is, I found it. What he wrote in this tweet, okay, so here are the names. Michael Porter Jr., Trey Murphy, Jeremy Grant, Andrew Wiggins. And Ernie the Man replied to this tweet with a bigger unknown name that hasn't been mentioned. And this is in regards to a player that the Warriors could be targeting, right? Which means that if the Warriors are still going to make a trade, that it's a wild card besides the names that we've been seeing in the news. Who do you think are those wild cards, Shreya? I have a few suspicions, but who would you guess?
I don't know.
You mentioned Lowry, right?
I mean, but that's not a because we already know about that. What's the other? I couldn't even imagine because I can't even read the Warriors right now. It kills me. Pisses me off.
I don't know who DOC is in our chat from Alazar Ben Israel. Forgive me for that. But here are some of the names that I thought of in terms of wild cards that the Warriors could be pursuing that could surprise us all. Naz Reid of the Minnesota Timberwolves. I brought him up before. I don't know how excited Minnesota is about him, and I could see them biting if you're throwing Kuminga and one or two other pieces, right? Like Kuminga, maybe Moody, Kuminga, maybe Pajemski. It wouldn't shock me if that, because I know the Warriors have been interested in Naz Reid for a while now, and I could be totally wrong with that. Another one, and I thought of this largely because of that Cavaliers game, Jared Allen. If you're the Cleveland Cavaliers, you're 4 games above 500. You've been going for the most part nowhere for I don't know how many years. I know last year they had the best regular season record, but we all saw how worthless that was. Congrats. You won 60 games in the East. What do you get for that? A second round exit. Congrats. So at what point do you just kind of like shake things up a little bit? Kuminga played for Kenny Atkinson. The Warriors could use a Jared Allen. So that's another wild card. And please jump in if you have any thoughts on any of these names.
I could see the Warriors going for Jared Allen, just personality-wise, personality-wise, as far as that goes. I think he's more of a better personality fit. Naz Reid has a mind of his own. And so I'm not saying that Jared Allen doesn't, but he's a particular type of dude that Steve Kerr will feel safe with and feel like he can speak to him and communicate with him. And, Naz Reid has edge. And I just feel like Steve Kerr doesn't like too much edge. So I don't see Naz Reid going to the Warriors, And
that, by the way, Shreya, is the exact reason why I don't think Michael Porter Jr. is a real idea. Like, I've never taken that seriously for that reason. Right. I don't think him and Kerr would ever be on the same page.
The thing is, I think that it's not even Kerr. I don't think Draymond Green and Jimmy Butler would be on that page with him.
Yeah.
It'll be those two.
I agree. I totally agree. Chardol, by the way, we're gonna take a night off on the Chardol show if you don't mind. I love you, bud. It's just too somber of a night, and when I bring you on, we're just all about having fun and talking shit, and this is just a sad one. Because of the Jimmy Butler news. And Shreya, thank you for joining me.
Of course.
I really could have used it tonight. Thank you. Here's another wild card. So I mentioned Naz Reid. I mentioned Jared Allen. I think Lowry Markkanen is an obvious one. Mike Lowry.
Mike Lowry. I'm Mike Lowry.
Lowry. And I always play that clip in case you're new to this show. That's how you pronounce Lowry Markkanen's name. Lowry. Or you call him Larry. And you can call Jonathan Kuminga Johnny Kuminga for Larry Markkanen. But we've talked about that one a lot. That's nothing really new there. But that's another wild card. So we mentioned Jared Allen, mentioned Naz Reid. Another wild card. I had a few of these lined up. And then I lost my list. God damn it. I had a whole list here. There's like 4 or 5 names. Hold on, give me 1 second. I'll get it. Because it is kind of an interesting talking point.
Yeah, I want to hear this. I'm like,
so another wild card. And again, this one will not excite people. And truth is, this trade sounded a lot more sensible before a Jimmy Butler injury. Now, I don't know if he still do this, but Vucevic, Nikola Vucevic, Vooch, him and Kuminga make almost the exact same salary.
mm-hmm.
He would be a rich man's Quidden Post, if that makes sense. Like a stretch 5 who actually has meat on his body, right? So he doesn't get all pushed around like Quidden Post does. So Nikola Vucevic could be another one, but I also think that one's kind of like if Jimmy Butler's seriously hurt, I don't know if you give up Kuminga for him at this point.
No,
my mind was more in like a win now type mode. But Vooch would be another one. And then maybe the biggest wild card and the most exciting name of all, LaMelo Ball.
I don't know. Listen, if they can't handle Michael Porter Jr., they damn sure can't handle that young brother. Oh no, he'd stress Steve Kerr out. If he can't figure out how to deal with Kuminga, there's no way in hell he can figure out to deal with that one. And I like him. I like his game. Like it's like a video game, but like that one doesn't listen to shit. So there's no way possible he could ever. Steve Kerr would quit. No. I do like Najee Marshall though. I do like him. I like him. I like him a lot, but I mean that's never going to happen.
All right.
I don't see the Mavs giving him up.
Najee, I know you're not the first person that said that. Some people actually absolutely love Najee Marshall. And then Miles Bridges' name from Zico and from Chosen. I think Chosen also mentioned that. To me, that's one of those names where I just don't know if the Bay Area is going to welcome a guy like that.
Right. That's another situation as far as personality goes.
Yeah.
His game is amazing, but personally, if Steve Kerr can't relate to anybody else, like if he can't relate to Kuminga, he can't. No, that's just not happening. He likes a particular type, and it ain't that.
Bamboo Soldier Boy brings up Larry Markkinen, and then Mike Larry. Well, there's one more in here that I wanted to highlight, and I lost it. Oh well. So those are like some of the wild cards. I didn't look at the West just because, and Shree, I don't know if I'm making sense saying this, but I still and will maintain this opinion that if they're going to trade Kuminga, I don't think it's to a Western Conference team. I just don't think you want to send him to a team that you're going to be seeing multiple times a year. And Kuminga's just circling the Warriors games on his calendar. He's going to be really riled up for those games. He's just going to want to burn this franchise to the ground. That would be his modus operatus. And if you're the Warriors, why the hell would you want that situation to present itself? So I just don't think they're going to send him to the West, if at all, if they trade him, which is still a huge if, right? I mean,
listen, if they know what's good for him, they better not.
Exactly. Chosen brings up the Milwaukee Bucks, Bobby Portis and Kyle Kuzma. Those two combined would be like $45 million, though. So you'd have to be. Now, here's another scenario. First of all, I don't think there's a chance in hell that trade happens, but does Jimmy Butler have any trade value injured? Because he is approximately a $55 million dead asset that could be moved to a team that, let's say, doesn't care. And you might have to attach a pick to that to entice a team. But let's say you're a team that just wants to get players off your deal. And this is where Sacramento maybe is someone that would come to mind, right? Because they've got some big contracts there. And again, you'd have to attach a pick to entice it. But is that a scenario you'd even see? Because if Jimmy Butler has a torn ACL, I think his time with the Warriors is over. I think.
I just don't think they're going to come off of him. I really don't. I think he has the locker room. I think he has the locker room, and I just don't see them doing it. Mike Dunleavy, they have a close relationship. I feel like it will take a lot.
But here's the thing. His contract ends the end of next season.
Mm-hmm.
He's already 36. This was
Mhm.
never like the plan was never for this to be like a long-term thing. I mean, Jimmy's he's old by NBA standards, and so that's why I don't think there's like a long-term plan here. Like if this is a torn ACL, I could see this being it. Like we tried, hell of a run, but it didn't work. I don't know.
The thing about it is Steph is such a passive leader, and Draymond is kind of out of control. So they need someone, and it's like, who do you put in place of that? Because you're not just putting in someone that can play the Jimmy role on the court. You're actually replacing him with someone that can control that locker room and set the tempo. Like, it's not just the court with Jimmy. Jimmy is behind the scenes a lot too.
Right.
So who do you put in that you can trust to do that?
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be very interesting. The LA Clippers tonight were in Washington, which is medicine for the NBA soul if you just are looking for an easy win. And the Clippers got that medicine. They beat Washington tonight, 110-106 in the nation's capital. James Harden, 36 points, 7 boards, 9 assists in the win for an LA team that was left for dead a month ago. And they're now 4 games below 500. Insane. They're back. Clippers are back. And again, they improved to 19-23. The Wizards, with the loss, dropped to 10-32. Alex Sarr, 28.6 rebounds in the loss. Side note, Alex Sarr would be one of my top targets if you can get him. But something tells me the Wizards will not trade that asset. Then again, they traded Danny Avdija, so who knows? The Dallas Mavericks, 114-97 winners tonight at Madison Square Garden. Max Christie, 26.6 rebounds in the win for a Dallas team that improves to 18-26. The Knicks, they're flailing. I think they've lost 8 of 11, I believe. They dropped to 25-18. Karl Anthony Towns, 22 points, 18 rebounds in the loss. This was one of the games that was on NBC earlier today, Sharia, as part of the MLK coverage. This Knicks team, I had no idea how bad they were until they were in town here at Chase Center last week, and the Warriors just put a spanking on them. I know that team did not have Jalen Brunson active. I also know Mitchell Robinson was out because of load management, but it didn't matter. Like what I saw with this Knicks team in that game, and now I'm seeing it like it's glaring to me. They have no depth. Like, you look at this Knicks team and their bench, and this is a team I'm spending this much time talking about them because a lot of people thought this was like a title contending team. Good luck with that. You look at the Knicks bench, and whether it's wait, hold on. I got the wrong screen here. And whether it's Miles McBride, whether it's Jordan Clarkson, who only played 2 minutes tonight, Landry Shamet, who I've never been a fan of, whether it's, I don't know what happened to Gershon Yabusele. He was supposed to be one of their big offseason pickups. He never plays.
They don't play him enough.
My point is, this bench, they have no depth. Their bench blows. And you're close to there. Anything you want to add to that? Or yeah.
I don't know what's going on with the Knicks. To be honest with you, last season they were rolling. This season, I know that with the coaches being, the coaches change. Something's going on in that locker room. And I don't know what it is, but it's obvious. Something's not clicking. Something is definitely different this year with them. From what I've seen in the local media, Cat is basically like, he doesn't know what his role is. He fouls too much too. He was doing that shit on Minnesota, and it gets on my nerves. He just fouls too much. He's too out of control. I don't know. And then, when you have the rumors that are floating around with Giannis possibly coming to the Knicks, things are really going downhill, but they're not clicking. I hate that for them because unlike the Bay Area local media, they don't. That's not the case here. Yeah, that's not the case here. They'll run him out of town, and I feel sorry for him because I love him to death. He's such a lovely, lovely guy, but things are getting ready to take a turn. The local media will let you have it. There's no schmoozing here. Okay?
Yeah. In New York, there's none of this.
This Olay bullshit.
Respect that, by the way.
Right.
But yeah, I think it's safe to say that right now the Knicks are in massive regret for not pulling the trigger on that Giannis trade, because supposedly they're the ones that decided not to go through with it. Huge mistake if that's true. And all those assets you gave up for Mikal Bridges. Mikal Bridges tonight, 7 points.
I'm very surprised.
For a guy that you gave up like 4 first-round picks for.
I'm very
I keep bringing him
surprised.
up as if you're going to trade Kuminga, I feel like he would be one of the best guys to go after. But
Yeah, Mikal gets it going now.
he can't.
The 7 points tonight is like a one-off, because he's usually not like that, but he usually gets it going. He's really good. He is. And he fits them. Like, he usually gets it going in the second half, not in the first half, but he does get it going, and there is chemistry there.
Yeah, and no depth. I just don't see depth. I like Jordan Clarkson should be a 25-minute person. Yeah, Buscemi should be a 25-minute person. And the fact that they're just like running the bench, it's like, unless I'm not watching this team extensively.
Well, he gets minutes. They have Jordan Clarkson come in. Jordan Clarkson does his thing, but Jordan Clarkson again gets out of control like cat. He starts fouling. That's the problem with Jordan. He's good, but he's kind of reckless.
Well, tonight he only played 2 minutes. That's why I said that. I thought he was a part of the rotation, but 2 minutes tonight.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what's going on there. Poor Mike. I mean, maybe it is Mike Brown's fault. I don't know. I have no idea. The San Antonio Spurs won at home tonight. They beat the Utah Jazz, a team the Warriors will be traveling to in the near future. 123-110 the final. The Spurs improving to 30-13. The Jazz dropping to 14-29. Victor Wembanyama announced as an all-star starter. 33 points, 10 rebounds in the win. Keontae George, 30.6 assists in the loss for the Jazz. The Philadelphia 76ers, 113-104 winners at home tonight over the Indiana Pacers. The Philly improves to 23-18. The Pacers drop to 10-34. Tyrese Maxey named an all-star starter today. 29 points, 8 assists, 8 steals. 8 steals. Damn, in the win. Andrew Nembhard, 25 points in the loss. 2 more games we're done. Sharia, thank you for rolling with me on this. The Phoenix Suns, 126-117 winners over the Brooklyn Nets. And those results are important because Phoenix is a team that the Warriors are desperately trying to catch.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like this homestand, the Warriors are now 6-1 on this homestand, but they haven't gained a game on Phoenix this whole time. They've been constant. Maybe one, but I feel like they've been 2 games back in the loss column for this whole stretch. Maybe it was 3. I don't know, but I don't remember that. Anyways, Colin Gillespie, who has been a massive positive for the Suns this year, 22 points in the win. Michael Porter Jr., 23 points, 6 rebounds in the loss. What's your take on Phoenix, by the way? They're a weird team.
No, Phoenix got chemistry. Dylan Brooks and Devin Booker. I don't know if Devin Booker played tonight, but Dylan Brooks and Devin Booker have chemistry.
Yeah.
They really do. They really do.
I mean,
like, they got a lot of heart, and they're not scared, and they don't back down.
And I don't even know if Jalen Green's playing in any of these games. I feel like he's always hurt.
He's still on the bench.
Yeah, that's crazy. So they're doing it without him. And last result, and this one was close. I didn't get a chance to watch this on NBC, even though it was nationally televised. Detroit Pistons tonight, winners over the Boston Celtics, 104-103. Did you get a chance to watch that?
No, I didn't watch it, but I was like looking at like the highlights.
I'm guessing it was a great game. Detroit improves to 31-10. Boston drops to 26-16. Side note, Bob Fitzgerald tonight talking about the impact of teams when they lose their stars. And like the second example he brought up, he goes, look at Boston when they lost Jason Tatum. And I'm like, yeah, I'm watching them, and they're still pretty damn good, actually.
Yeah, they're still rolling.
They're not. I mean, they're not a contender, but they're 10 games above 500. That says a lot. Cade Cunningham, 16 points, 14 assists in the win for Detroit. Jaylen Brown, 32 points, 11 rebounds in the loss for Boston, who drops 26-16. Detroit, 31 and 10. Who's the MVP? A top 3, but who's your MVP if you had to vote? And you got to vote.
Right now?
Yeah.
Oh. I'm still, like you asked me before, I'm still like, it's still too early for me, to be honest with you. I think Kate is having a good season. I think Maxie is having a good season. Shay's having a good season, even though I hate to admit it. He is.
FanDuel right now, the odds for MVP, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is currently your odds-on favorite, minus 350. Luka Doncic is second, plus 800. Cade Cunningham third, plus 1,200. That's your...
I don't enjoy watching Luka. He is good. He is talented. I'm just not a fan of his game, but he is good.
And I'm telling you, if he keeps this up for just a few more years, you're going to see the Harden comparisons. You're going to see
yeah, you hear it now. It's just James Harden.
Like, the numbers are damn impressive, but he doesn't play defense and still no rings. I mean, you got to get a ring to boost that legacy. So we shall see. And I guess that does it. Any final thoughts on a rather somber night? Boris Schusterman, forgive me for missing this paid chat. Writing with $1.99. Sorry, Boris, but forgive me. Saying that Steve Kerr loves his two-way guys because it's easy to make them disappear. I like that. Oh, cold-blooded. I got to get that soundbite. But that was a little cold. I like that. Sharia, do you agree with those sentiments? Any thoughts on that?
Listen, I can't predict what Steve Kerr thinks. We're all confused by him, but I wouldn't disagree.
Yeah.
I wouldn't disagree.
That's funny. Genji Gawk writing, so Kuminga fits with the team now? Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
And we saw it last year. I mean, we saw it last year.
We've seen this before.
Yeah.
When Jimmy goes down, Kuminga comes to town. You know how it is. We've seen this before.
Yeah. We have. Barber NBA's asking, would you have Kerr as a guest? Of course. And again, I just interviewed him last month in a press conference setting. I've interviewed him before one-on-one some years back, but that interview was entirely about his surfing career. And you could read that story. Just Google Steve Kerr surfing, and it should be the first story that comes up. But yeah, of course. I mean, there's no chance in hell he'd do it. But I mean, if that opportunity presented itself, of course I'd bring him on. But
I do think he watches. I do think he watches.
You might be right. You might be right. There are a lot of people. It is fascinating who actually does watch. Look, we're gonna find out soon. Money Checkup saying go live tomorrow. We got a game tomorrow night. Shri, are you joining me again, or was
yes?
Love it. All right. And Chardol, we'll have you as a closer tomorrow night. Okay. Forgive me again. Tonight, there's no joking around tonight. This was a brutal one. We'll see what happens. Ooh. Does Kuminga play tomorrow, Sharia?
I don't think that the pride of Steve Kerr will allow that immediately, but you don't know how desperate they get. We'll see. But I don't think that ego, there's going to have to be a lot of conversations between tonight and tomorrow because of that ego. So probably not tomorrow, but probably the game after that. There's a lot of ego involved with him. Then also like Kuminga has a little bit of an ego too. And you should take pride in yourself and your value. There's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, agreed. And, we'll see. The interesting ride that is Golden State Warriors basketball continues. Jimmy, from the bottom of my heart, hope you're okay.
Absolutely.
I really do. I don't think anybody wants this worst case scenario, but that did not look good either. We'll find out. This craziness, the reality TV show that is your Golden State Warriors will resume tomorrow, and we'll find out what happens with Jimmy Butler and all that good stuff. Warriors Raptors tomorrow night. Sharia, are you done with your work on that on this show, or are you just enjoying some days off?
No, it's 18 episodes. We wrap in July. We started in November.
Okay,
so we're still rolling. Yeah, no, but we had time off for the holidays, and then I go in like 2 or 3 days a week. So I have time with my family and I have time to, decompress. Filming is a lot. It can be 16-hour days. So it's a lot. And then it's snowing. We're outside. We're on location. We're outside for 16 hours. It's not fun at times with this weather. So I take little breaks in between.
Is the film set as fun as everyone describes it?
They describe it like that?
That's all I've heard, is that it's just an amazing magical experience. But is that true?
It's work. And I'm very it's work, and I'm very appreciative of it. There's moments where you look at it. I know for me, I don't look at it in the moment like, wow, this is amazing. I think usually after it comes out, then you sit back and you have a chance to digest what you just was in. In the moment, you're just too focused. It's like super laser focused.
And maybe I should have specified, because I've always heard that sentiment from the actors and actresses, but not so much everyone else.
From
so
crew?
Is it if you're if you're a star, I imagine it's amazing. But if you're not a star, it's work. Is that fair?
I mean, I think on both sides of it, because they do have to learn lines, and scripts do change like last minute. So it can be stressful for actors also. We're the first line of defense. We're makeup and hair. So, we're the first people that they see when they come in the morning, and it's a lot of work for them too, just like it is for us. It's not easy making television. It's not, but it is a passion. And a lot of us usually, just roll with the punches and wait for it to come out, and then you can enjoy it. But in the moment, it's like you're just super focused.
And for folks wondering in the chat, a few people are asking, like, well, what do you do? It's you're a stylist for is it just TV? Do you do film too, or and it's hair, right?
Yeah, I'm a hairstylist for major motion picture and television, but film and television. I do either or. It just depends
on the opportunities. Okay.
Yeah, it just depends. I like film. I enjoy film because it's like one and done. Whereas when it comes to television, if I'm working on an episodic, it can be for seasons at a time. But film is fun to me.
Can you give us a couple movies that you've worked on? Because you've told me about the Power TV shows, but I've never heard any movies that you've worked on. Any you can name?
I just worked on a film. It's just my first action film, Fast, that comes out in 2027. And then Highest to Lowest, the Denzel Washington and Spike Lee joint that came out last year.
I apologize. You mentioned that. I forgot.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Yeah.
I did that.
Great movie, by the way. I did see it.
Devil Wears Prada, that comes out in May.
The sequel. Did you work on the original too, or just? I
didn't work on the original, but I love the original. It's something that inspired me to come to New York and get into fashion. So my foundation was fashion at first, and then I went into television and film. So I worked on that. Mama's Boy is coming out. I think it's slated to come out at the end of this year. That's basically the prequel to Friday the 13th, the Jason. That was all last year. It's so much. You just, what happens is you just go from project to project to project to project. It's like you don't, sometimes you go back, it's just all blurs. And sometimes you just go back and check your IMDb and then you're like, oh, wow, I did that. But for the most part, it's like you get up and you go to work. You know what I'm saying? You go to work and you do some hair and you watch the monitor and make sure nothing moves.
I would bet I would bet a lot of money that everybody you work with loves you. That you must be like,
I don't know. I don't know about that.
And you just saying that confirms it. I think I would absolutely love if you were my stylist. That would be just a joy. I feel like you're like the break. You're like, oh, thank God I got Sharia, because in 20 minutes I got to deal with this director and all that shit. So I'm gonna guess you are the timeout from the rigor. As they're sitting there.
We are the line of defense, makeup and hair. It's the first people that actors come in, they're in their most vulnerable state. They're all the way down and you have to build them up and get them into character. So there's a lot of pouring into.
I love it. And when you have breaks in life, we are honored and flattered that you join us. And look forward to seeing you tomorrow night, Sharia. Thank you.
Of course.
Anything you want to promote? I always feel bad that I can't pay you. Not at that place yet. We're hoping someday.
There's nothing I want to promote, to be honest with you. My nail company, Navia.shop, Navia Nail Lacquer, that's out there. But just honestly, just good vibes to Jimmy. That's what I want to promote is good vibes to Jimmy. And, we hope that he's okay and we hope to have him back. And yeah, just good vibes to Jimmy and free Kuminga, or either bring him back too.
and if you're curious about that Navia website, here's the QR code for it right here. You can click on that. Thank you as always, Shreya. Thank you to everybody.
Thank you.
And
for
again,
having me.
by tomorrow morning, we should know what's going on with Jimmy, and we'll talk about that and so much more tomorrow night when the Warriors play the Raptors. Shreya, thank you to the audience. Thank you. We're back soon. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.